We're live! And there's nobody watching! Why is that? You didn't beat me to the punch this time, people. You did not beat me to the punch this time. Let's see what we got over here. We are going to share out the stream. No one watching. You see, like, that is not right. It's not right at all. And boom. Just share it out on Twitter. We got that going. What else we got over here? Got that going. Perfect. Share it out on Facebook as well. So we're just going to share it out to a few people. We're going to get some people in here. We are going to get some people in here. See what we got over here. Come on. Got that. Share it out here. Thank you very much, Danielle. I greatly appreciate it. Share it out to a couple more people. What else we got? We got here. We're going to get started in just a little bit. There's only one person watching. See, like, that's not right. That is not right. Not right at all. We need to get a lot more people in here. I understand it's the holiday season. Hey, my man Adam, how you doing, brother? Okay, we're getting a few more people in here. We need more people, though. We need more than just that. We need more than just that. Come on. Okay, here. And a few more. We'll get started in just a little bit. All right, we got 4 people in here so far. 4 people in here so far. Thank you very much for sharing. You are awesome. What's going on, Cool King? D for Drawing Garden. How you doing? We are going to get started in just a little bit. We got a lot of stuff to talk about here. Cameron Johnson, how you doing? There we go. Now we got a lot more people in here. Now we can get this party started. All right. Now, I think it's about time we get the party started. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome each and every single one of you to the final Lightning Flash update of 2020 right here on YouTube.com. As of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle, to mankind. This, of course, as I've said, is the final Lightning Flash update of 2019. It is December 19th, 2020, and we are about to get started. And as you can see, I'm not alone. And I don't usually have guests on the Lightning Flash update, but considering this is the final Lightning Flash update of 2020, it is a very special occasion. Back here on the channel for the first time in almost 9 months. It has been a long time, but we are finally back in action together. The boys are back in town. Joining me, the creator of the Big Fight Feel YouTube channel. I've known him for over a year now. DJ Storms Posse member, diehard wrestling fan of 11 years plus. Please help me welcome to the channel, Joseph Conlin. How you doing, my friend?
It's the holiday season. Christmas is next week. We're giving the folks an early Christmas present here today. Hope they're doing good during the holiday season, man. I hope everyone in the chat's doing good today. I will be in the chat talking with you guys during the show. And it'll be a good time. Let's just have a great time and go out on a bang on the final stream of 2020.
Oh, we absolutely will. But here's something that I don't understand. There are 9 people watching, but yet only 7 thumbs up. You see, that is not right. We need to have more than just 9 people watching. We need to have at least 15 people watching. I don't know what you guys are doing, but here's what I need you guys to do. I need you guys obviously, if you haven't already done so, first things first, I need you to follow me on the Twitter sticks. Of course, my Twitter is at HistoryMakerDJS. You will find out why I am the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. Of course, I need you guys to please follow me on Instagram as well. Add me on Facebook for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page, and I made you send an invite to join the official DJ Storms posse group on Facebook. That is. All the links are in the description. I will place them in the description after the stream is over. Now, if you guys haven't already done so, there is a little link down in the description after the stream, of course, to the rundown for WWE TLC 2020 with, of course, Top Rope Squishy. That's doing awesome. I believe that's over 120 views. I believe that's almost at 40 likes. So for TLC, for a show that really has not had much of anything going into it, and for a show surrounding a product in which everything is just lackluster and dead, I'm telling you, it's done really well. I'm very honored to have had Top Rope Squishy on the channel. So if you guys missed it, please go check it out. The link will be in the description after the stream. If you guys haven't already done so, I don't really know what the fuck you're doing. We are 6 minutes into the stream already. And if you guys haven't already liked the stream, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. You gotta like the stream, because I'm trying to get into the eyes of many other people. I'm trying to grow, I'm trying to expand. But in order to do that, you guys need to like the stream. And when you like, I need you guys to share out the stream on all platforms of social media, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Facebook, whether it be Tumblr, whether it be Pinterest. I need you guys to share it out everywhere so we can get everyone in here. Your moms, your dads, your uncles, your aunts, your grandparents, your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, your dogs, your cats, your guinea pigs. We need everybody in here. It's the final LFU of 2020. You ain't gonna wanna miss a single moment of it, all right? And when you share out the stream, I need you guys to keep the chat rolling, talk amongst yourselves, talk amongst Joe, talk amongst me. Of course, when you do so, you got to be sure you hit that subscribe button, because I'm trying to grow and I'm trying to expand. Become a member of the DJ Storms posse. And when you subscribe, you got to hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, it is the best time to be on YouTube. It's the only time you're going to get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination. This beautiful mustache right here. Is it even a question if I have a corset? I mean, come on. There we go. Everybody wants a piece of the Storms Meister. You know what? This was not rehearsed. Let me just point something out here, bro. I'm looking at my comb right now, and it says Ace on my comb, right up there. If you guys can see, it says Ace. How fitting, because I'm the fucking ace of the IWC. Never fucking forget that. Anyway, enough of the
tag team as well.
Yeah, damn right. Anyway, enough of the self-brand promotion and the advertisements. We're going to get straight into the festivities here on the LFU. We're going to talk about the newsrooms and reports first. And I'm actually going to hand this over to you, bro. I want to get your thoughts on this first report. Now, a recent report from ITRWrestling.com states that an on-screen partnership between Charlotte Flair and Andrade won't be happening, and it wasn't even pitched to Charlotte Flair. The report further states that the plans for Charlotte Flair's return are already quote-unquote locked in, and she insisted to have long-term plans laid out before her return. She insisted to have long-term plans laid out before her return. As for Andrade, they are completely separate plans for him. He took time off for WWE for eye surgery and has recently shared a video where he mentioned that wrestling was in his blood and he was born to do it. So I want to get your thoughts on this report. What are your thoughts on the fact that Andrade and Charlotte Flair will not be in an on-screen partnership?
I actually thought it was going to be kind of interesting if you see Andrade and Charlotte on television together. Because it actually makes sense. They're engaged. they're a real couple in real life, but it's already planned that Charlotte has plans already laid for her out. Unfortunately, I think we know what those plans are going to be. She might be Asuka's partner at the TLC pay-per-view, and then she's going to be like, I won us the Women's Tag Team Championships. You got to give me a shot at the Raw Women's Championship, and there you go. In under a month, we will already have Charlotte 2 belts, and it'll not be good at all. As for Andrade is just so damn talented that he has to be doing something. At least, I don't even know what brand he's on, to be honest. But if he goes back to Raw, I would have him in the U.S. Championship scene. If he goes to SmackDown, I would have him in the IC Championship scene. He's just too good not to be doing anything. He's too good to be getting jobbed out. And the last time I remember seeing him, I believe he got jobbed out to Keith Lee. So that's what I got to say on the situation. I would like to see them together, but I think they're only planning on getting Charlotte in the Women's Championship already.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I'm reading this and I'm like, why wasn't it even pitched to Charlotte Flair? I don't even understand that. And it really does go to show you how selfish Charlotte Flair really is. The fact that she insisted to have long-term plans laid out for her, but she can't even look out for her fucking boyfriend, who more likely than not will become her husband. That's what I don't fucking understand. You have all the power in the world backstage. Obviously, you are one of the few people backstage that WWE actually caters to and will actually fucking listen to outside of Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard, but you don't have the balls, figuratively speaking, to actually stand up for someone other than yourself. And it really does go to show you how self-centered and egotistical Charlotte Flair really is. I would actually love to see a partnership between Charlotte Flair and Andrade, because not only would it actually add some interest to Charlotte, but it would actually elevate Andrade into the main event scene, which is what we all want. When I heard this report initially, I pitched the idea of having this on-screen partnership result in Charlotte Flair helping Andrade or getting him to that next level, and Andrade wins the Royal Rumble, he goes into WrestleMania and beats Drew McIntyre and becomes the WWE Champion. I would fucking love that. I would absolutely fucking love that. But of course, now we got this. And Charlotte Flair, I'm telling you, expect Charlotte Flair to come back tomorrow at TLC. If she doesn't, I'd be shocked. It's either that, Eva Marie's coming back, or Lana's going to make a big, miraculous babyface return. And either way, Shayna Baszler and Nia, I really don't see them walking out with the titles, which is unfortunate, because I love Shayna Baszler, even though she's booked like a complete loser. I love Shayna Baszler. I don't think she should be losing a championship anytime soon. We'll see what happens. As far as Andrade goes, I believe Andrade teased an NXT return, which I obviously would not mind, because, you put Andrade down in NXT. Yeah. With this generation of NXT superstars, you're going to have Andrade taking on guys like Priest and guys like Balor and guys like, you could have a rematch with Gargano, maybe someone like a Dexter Lumis or Cameron Grimes. This generation of NXT talent, it would actually favor Andrade a lot better. And we would actually get Andrade in a priority role. I would actually love to see Andrade win the North American Championship. Add to his fucking resume. Because obviously we're not getting the Charlotte Flair partnership. I don't really know what else I could say about Charlotte Flair. Only the fact that this further proves my point about Charlotte Flair. She's a self-entitled, egotistical cunt. End of story. Moving on. I will check the chat. We'll check the chat after the news, rumors, and reports, so hang tight, people. So, moving on to this next report, we got Ringside News learning that Lars Sullivan has not even been around SmackDown in recent weeks. The last appearance was November 6, 2020, on an episode of SmackDown with Corey Graves in a sit-down interview. And there has reportedly been no apparent plans for him to be used in the imminent future. And because of this, he hasn't even been showing up to the television tapings. Now, I'm hearing that Vince McMahon's actually high on Lars Sullivan and they would actually have plans for Lars Sullivan. And now all of a sudden, now he doesn't have any plans? How is it that you don't have any plans for Lars Sullivan? Why not put him against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania? Obviously, no one's going to get behind Brock Lesnar in a WWE Championship match. And Lars Sullivan, with what's going on with him, he should be nowhere near a championship match. Why not pair Lars Sullivan and Brock Lesnar together and have Lars Sullivan go over Brock Lesnar and elevate him? So I don't really know what the issue is with Lars Sullivan. I'm not sure if the shit that he's gotten himself into has come back to haunt him. I'm not sure if Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard have just forgot. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I honestly don't even blame Lars Sullivan. I honestly don't even blame Lars Sullivan, because if you're not going to use him, then why should he even bother showing up? It's fucking ridiculous. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? I find it to be complete bullshit.
I gotta agree with you. I hope the guy's all right and he's safe and everything, but I mean, this happens to everybody, dude. When they have no plans for a particular wrestler, they just don't use them, and they're in the backs doing absolutely nothing, and it sucks. Like, I know not a lot of people are fans of Lars Sullivan. I'm not really a big fan of him as well. I was a fan of him in NXT. I liked that Lars Sullivan, but I mean, it sucks, and hopefully, maybe he'll be back on television soon. They really had nothing for him, though, when he came back. Like, you could tell they had nothing for him because they had him attacking Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy, and then they had Jeff Hardy put him over, and that's the last I remember seeing him. So, if we see him coming back on SmackDown, great. If not, hopefully he's all right. But I mean, this goes to show you how, mistreated WWE takes care of their talent.
It is absolutely ridiculous. I don't even know. I really don't even know where to go. I don't even know where to turn, where to go. At this rate, again, WWE doesn't even know what they want to do. You take a look at the current landscape of WWE, and everything's just all over the fucking place. Even NXT, everything is all over the fucking place. So...
yeah, I mean, you talk about NXT being all over the place, which, I mean, they're more concentrated on combating AEW, so... Ringside
News was not done there. They actually came out with a report. According to SportsSkeeda, by way of Ringside News, and this is the biggest story that I got for you here, Lana revealed in an interview with SportsSkeeda that WWE has plans to revisit the lesbian angle with herself and Liv Morgan. Right now, she's just waiting for that to happen. Lana stated, and I quote, "I can see the story picking up anytime, any day, Like, I think it's a very, very compelling story, and I would love to revisit it." So that's what I was told. That's where we're going. That's when we're going to revisit it at some point. So I'm looking forward to revisiting it at some point. So I'm not sure if Lana's just bullshitting. It sounds like she's just bullshitting, because this entire quote taken from this interview, it sounded like she was just repeating herself. It sounded like she was just kind of coming up with shit to say on the spot. It seems like she was just doing this shit just to get attention, because all that we've been talking about with Lana is how she's been put through tables and how she's now being used. Now she's being used in a role where she's trying to be made into a bigger star than her husband is, just to get back at him. So obviously, there's a good chance that Lana just could be bullshitting us, and she could just be saying this shit just for the sake of saying this shit to get people talking. However, do I put it past WWE? Do I put it past WWE to revisit this? No. No, I don't. Because you know how Vince McMahon is. Vince McMahon, he does this shit for his own entertainment. He does this shit for his own entertainment. So if Vince McMahon finds this shit entertaining, and if Vince McMahon wants to, there's nothing stopping Vince McMahon from digging right into the creative trash bin, pulling this shit out, and just completely revisiting it just for the hell of it. Just because he thinks that it will draw ratings. And based on what happened with the lowest Raw ratings, with a 1.52 million, I would not put it past WWE to bring back this shit, because USA screamed at WWE saying that they want more more adult-like content. So there's nothing stopping WWE from doing that. And Lana saying that she wants this shit to continue, and she says that it's a quote-unquote compelling storyline. Obviously, she's talking out of her ass, and she has about as many brain cells as a fucking fruit fly, but that's a different story for a different time. I don't understand why she would even want to do that to Liv Morgan. If anything, Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott should be positioned to be the next women's tag team champions. But I think she's just bullshitting, but I would not put it past WWE to do that based on the lowest Raw ratings in the history of the brand, period. So I hope to God that this shit dies, like people just stop talking about it and it's not brought to light, because I don't think I could handle it if they brought back Lana and Liv Morgan. I say it all the time that I'm like this close to not watching, because I would just cut out the Raw review and the Smackdown review, and that way I would save myself like 50 minutes of the stream and we'd be out of here by 3 o'clock every single Saturday. The only reason why I do it is because people love the fact that I rant and rave and flail my arms, and if they didn't, then I really wouldn't do it. But Joe, what is your take on Lana saying that there's plans for WWE to revisit this lesbian angle?
I mean, this is WWE at the end of the day, and they do some pretty stupid things, and this would be a really stupid thing to bring back this quote-unquote lesbian angle between Lana and Liv Morgan, but I think she's just, in my honest opinion, Storms, I think she's just doing it to get people talking. I don't think it's going to happen, at least anytime soon, because Lana's on Raw, Liv Morgan's on SmackDown. As you just said, the Riot Squad should be set up to be the next women's tag team champions. And Lana, I don't know what's going on with her, but I don't think they're going to revisit this lesbian storyline anytime soon. But like you said, people in the chat, don't put this past WWE to go back, pull the script out of the trash can and revisit this in 2021. Hopefully they don't, but don't put it past them.
They get worse every single year. I didn't think it was going to affect NXT, but it has. And that's a fucking shock to me.
It's just, it's funny how the product gets worse every year, because I was like, 2019 was horrendous. Like, 2019 was a terrible year. 2020 might have been even worse for them.
Oh no, it was undoubtedly worse for them.
NXT this year, that's scary. Like, that's scary, you know?
By default, NXT is better than the main roster, but their long-term storytelling has been absolutely deteriorated, specifically because Vince McMahon wants the ratings to go up, or Vince McMahon just wants NXT on Wednesday, and he doesn't care if he destroys it or if he helps it. He just wants to make sure that AEW doesn't reach over 1 million viewers.
Exactly.
So, moving on to a report here from Wrestle Votes. Wrestle Votes tweeted out an update on a group of creative writers discussing quote-unquote underutilized stars. And the tweet read, and I quote, "Recently a group of writers were asked to make a list of underutilized talents they felt could shine if given the proper opportunity. Those lists ranged wide, but nearly all of them included Cesaro, Angel Garza, Chad Gable, Carmella, and Peyton Royce." End quote. So, let me get this straight. We are sitting on December 19th. And now you're worried about what stars are underutilized. Now you're talking about underutilized stars. Now you're just realizing that Cesaro could be used in a better role. Meanwhile, Cesaro's been one of WWE's hidden gems for the last half-decade plus. Angel Garza, he's been on the main roster since February. And what have you done with him? Nothing. Nothing more than a failed tag team with Andrade, who should have won the tag team titles at SummerSlam, but they didn't. Chad Gable, How many fucking years has Chad Gable been on the main roster? You didn't realize he was underutilized when you didn't do anything with the American Alpha Tag Team? Carmella, how many times have you stopped and started a push with Carmella? Now, Carmella, she's already had her moment in the sun. And to be quite honest, based on the track record of Carmella, no matter if she's improved or if she's regressed. Now, the promo on SmackDown wasn't that bad, and she's gotten a little bit better in the ring. I've seen it with Sasha, although Sasha could lead a broomstick to a 5-star match. But regardless of that, based on the track record of Carmella and how terrible her SmackDown Live Women's title reign was, why would you want to revisit a Carmella push? Peyton Royce, that I actually get. Because Peyton Royce, I've said it once and I'll say it again, Peyton Royce actually had potential. She was decent in NXT, and I could see Peyton Royce getting up to a level of a Bayley or Bianca Belair or Sasha Banks if she's given the opportunity and she's booked correctly. I can actually see a lot of potential in Peyton Royce because at one point Peyton Royce was in contention for the NXT Women's Championship. Peyton Royce was once in contention for the NXT Women's Championship, and then she got called up with Billie Kay, and she became one of the biggest waste of spaces in the entire WWE. And her and Billie Kay had undoubtedly the worst championship reign that I think I've ever seen. So, Billie Kay brought Peyton Royce down. So if anything, now that Peyton Royce is on her own, I would actually love to see Peyton Royce in a singles role. But at the end of the day, now you're just realizing, after all of these months, after so long with all of these individuals being on the main roster, being on Raw or being on SmackDown, now you're just realizing that they're underutilized? Now you want the creative writers to make a list of people that are underutilized. And be honest here. No matter who's on this fucking list, do you honestly expect Vince McMahon to take any advice from anyone outside of Bruce Pritchard? And Bruce Pritchard, he's pretty much a mini-me of Vince McMahon with a red fucking face. So at the end of the day, how far is this really going to go? I'd say not that far, because you take a look at what's going on Raw and SmackDown, and nothing has changed. The only way that things are going to change, and I said this when I came home from Extreme Rules 2019, when I met Joe, and we were in attendance live at Extreme Rules in 2019 in Philadelphia. I'm telling you right now, I said it on the rewind for Extreme Rules 2019. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter who's the executive director. It doesn't matter who is coming up through the rankings. It doesn't matter how much talent that they sign. It doesn't matter how good AEW is. It doesn't matter. The only way that real change is going to be implemented is when Vince McMahon is out of office. And the guy certainly ain't retiring anytime soon. The only way that Vince McMahon is going to be out of office is when the angel of death comes down and claims his soul. And we don't know when that is. It could be 5 years from now, it could be 10 years from now, could be 15, could be 20, could be 25. At this rate, the dude's gonna outlive me, and I'm 50 years younger than him. So, at the end of the day, no matter who's on this list, no matter what creative writers pitch any underutilized stars to Vince McMahon, he still has the last call. And do you honestly think he's going to do anything? I don't. So, Joe, I'm sorry, I got heated there for a moment. Obviously, I get heated here whenever I talk about the WWE, but I'm going to hand the ball over to you.
No, I totally get it, dude. I mean, they had all 2020 to think of underutilized stars, and they just done nothing. What have they done with... I'll go through all of these superstars, all right? What have they done with Cesaro? They don't trust Cesaro in a singles capacity because they think Cesaro is a tag team wrestler, and we all know that he's capable enough to carry the United States Championship, or an Intercontinental Championship, or even a World Championship. But no, they think he's a tag team wrestler. Who else was on that list? You said Chad Gable, right? Chad Gable. Great athlete. Great athlete in the WWE, could be a mid-card champion, but they're wasting him right now. They got him paired up with Otis. Right now, they're wasting Chad Gable. Not a surprise. Carmella, her reign was terrible. Her reign in 2018 was complete trash. But Her character, in my opinion, her character has gotten a little bit better. I like this character for her more than I do the Staten Island character. But the one thing that holds her back, in my opinion, is her ring ability. She's just got to get better in her ring ability. Peyton Royce, I think it's the final one. Peyton Royce, I agree with you. She can get on that Bayley, Sasha, Bianca Belair level. She's got to improve in the ring. She needs a good character. And if they push her to that level, dude, I really do think she can get there. Maybe in 2021, who knows?
Angel Garza was also on that list.
Oh, okay. So, final one, Angel Garza. You had this guy in NXT. Super charismatic. He was a ladies' man. Cruiserweight champion. He put on, like, do you remember that match he had with, I believe it was Leo Rush?
Yes.
He was in the Cruiserweight Championship. Great match. He's up on the main roster, and they waste him in it. They again, it's kind of like the same situation as Cesaro. They put him in a tag team capacity with Angel Garza, where they should have won the tag team championships, and they never got there. And now what's he doing? Now what's he doing? He's jobbing out to Keith Lee on main event. That's what they're doing with Angel Garza right now.
It's unbelievable.
It's really sad, dude. It's really sad. And the sad thing about this is there's a whole plethora of superstars that could be on this list as well. We're just not saying their names.
At this rate, you can make a case for pretty much everyone on the fucking roster.
Exactly. Absolutely.
That's the crazy thing about it. But I did mention Monday Night Raw's low ratings. So listen to this. Wrestle Votes also provided an update on the backstage reaction to Monday Night Raw's record low rating. Raw received a 1.52 million rating, the lowest rating ever in the history of the show. Yes, that deserves a round of applause in its own right. Now, the tweet read, and I quote, "Talking a source just now who said the record low Raw rating news isn't quote-unquote sitting well with those in power, to a point where they expect some reactionary decisions to be made. Time will tell," end quote. And USA actually came out, and they were talking to Monday Night Raw, saying that they actually want more adult-like content, dark, adult-like content. You see, here's the problem. The executives of USA and the executives of Fox, they don't know jack shit about a wrestling company. So here's the issue. When you have a CEO like Vince McMahon who does not know how to book modern-day wrestling to save his life, and then when he does bad, then the USA and the Fox executives, they step in and they don't know jack shit about a wrestling company. They don't know how to properly book a wrestling company, and they got the same mindset as Vince McMahon where they want quick ratings now. It's pretty much a fucking recipe for disaster. WWE should have just done the proper thing all along. And here's the problem. The answer is right in front of their face. All they have to do is properly build up talent through wins. Enough of the 50-50 booking. Kill the 50-50 booking aspect. You need to start protecting talent. You need to start developing characters like a Bianca Belair or an Angel Garza. Allow these characters to be themselves instead of overly scripting them. Stop changing people that come up from NXT, because Triple H is pretty much doing your job for you, and all you have to do is reap the benefits. But yet, all you have to do is change something. You got to change everything about a superstar, whether it's the theme music, whether it's the attire, whether it's their character completely, whether it's their in-ring skill. The guy has the answers to him right under his nose. But he even changed those answers. He even changed NXT simply because of the fact that now that he got his hands on NXT, now that he was in Triple H's position, and he was trying to counter-program AEW. In doing so, he also got his wish. He also got his wish for destroying NXT and making them just as bad as the main roster. I mean, still, by default, they're better than the main roster because they got the better talent, they got the better roster, they have better storytelling here and there, but ultimately, Vince McMahon killed everything about NXT, so he killed two birds with one stone. Vince McMahon had the answers right under his nose, and he elected to kill NXT just for the simple fact of keeping AEW from growing and expanding. Long-term storytelling, long-term booking, pushing people that the crowd wants, booking people correctly. You don't just give someone what they want. You don't just give Drew McIntyre the WWE Championship and expect everyone to be okay with it and expect people to watch. You need to book him correctly. You don't just put Alexa Bliss in a great role with The Fiend and then just say, oh yeah, everyone's going to be happy. Everyone's going to be happy. No. You need to follow up correctly. You don't just book Bianca Belair in a match with Sasha Banks and expect people to care just because they're getting the match. No, you need to book the feud over the course of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes of SmackDown to actually get them invested. Stop overly scripting people. Stop pushing people down the ladder just because you don't like them. It's not what you want. It's about what we want. It's about the greater good and the betterment of the divisions, of the shows, and your company as a whole. But you don't get it. You don't get it. You would rather do everything your way, and then when the ratings come in and they're shit, now USA and Fox is going to jump in. Now USA and Fox is going to jump in, and now they're going to institute things that are just as bad, if not worse, than Vince is going to institute. It is absolutely ridiculous. Of course these ratings aren't going to sit well. You are to blame. You senile old geezer. You are to blame. So at the end of the day, nothing will change. I don't even if the ratings go below 1 million, I don't even care if 2021, I'm calling it right now. In 2021, the ratings will be just as low as AEW and NXT for Raw and SmackDown. And at the end of the day, that is still not going to change. It's still not going to change the WWE. The only way that WWE is going to change is when Vince is out of office. And that is not happening until there is no longer a beat in that man's heart. It's never going to happen until there is no longer air in the man's lungs. I'm not wishing death upon anyone. I don't want anyone to die. Nobody deserves to die. But at the end of the day, we all die at the end of the day. We just don't know when Vince McMahon's time is coming. But when his time comes, the WWE is going to be a lot better off. I'm already, we're not even an hour into the stream, and my voice is already my throat is already sore, so I'm going to hand the ball over to you. What were your thoughts on...
We didn't even talk about Raw yet.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about Raw yet, so trust me. But don't worry. I got a lot of shit on my plate. I got a lot of shit to say. We're going to check the chat in just a little bit. But this is the last major report that we got, and then we got a few minor reports to dissect. But what are your thoughts on the fact that this low rating is not sitting well and a reactionary decision is to be made?
First off, I just want to say they deserve that rating, putting on a trash show Monday night. I don't want any excuses from anybody in the community. Oh, the football game Monday night was a great game. Oh, it's the holiday season. Get that out of the way. The fact that they can't put on good television, and this is their go-home show to TLC on Sunday, you didn't get anybody invested in the pay-per-view, and you had nothing on the show that was quality enough for people to sit there for 3 hours and watch Monday Night Raw. You know, I saw something on Twitter this week where it was where Triple H cut a promo on Raw, and he said, he made a whole remark of, me and my friend Mark, if we don't get what we want, we're going to stop watching, and stuff like that. Well, a couple years later, people have stopped watching. That episode of Raw got a 4.3 million rating. This week's Raw got a 1.52 rating. That shows people have not stopped watching. They're not invested in any of the characters. outside of Roman Reigns and Bruce Pritchard and Vince, they're killing the show just like that, in the snap of a finger. It's really sad, but it's reality in the WWE. So,
dude, I'm telling you, 2021 could be even worse. I'm not even bullshitting. So,
I think they could go. I think they can honestly go below 1 million.
No, they absolutely will. If they don't, I'd be shocked. So, a couple minor reports before we check the chat, and then we're going to move on to the weekly show reviews. So, according to Fightful, Dakota Kai is not injured. She's actually absent from NXT right now because WWE is trying to straighten out a visa issue. So, hopefully they straighten that out. We get Dakota Kai back on NXT because Dakota Kai, she is an excellent women's wrestler. She's one of the most underrated women's wrestlers that we got in the WWE right now. So, we got that. So, if you're wondering where Dakota Kai's been, Meltzer also indicated, now this is an interesting report that I actually want to get your thoughts on, man. Dave Meltzer indicated that one goal AEW has with Sting is to elevate Darby Allin into a bigger star. So, here's something that I want to know. Could we possibly see Darby Allin versus Sting possibly on a pay-per-view in 2021? And if we do, is it going to be for the TNT Championship?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, right now, if Sting is going to wrestle, it's going to be in a tag team capacity.
Yeah.
You're not just going to put him there at the start against Darby Allin one-on-one. That's not going to happen. If anything, it'll probably be, Team Taz versus Sting, Darby, Cody, maybe Dustin could be the fourth man if they want to put Taz's son in there. But they're not going to put Sting in a singles capacity right now. And this is what they brought. They didn't bring. I don't think they really brought Sting in to be like. Yeah, he's going to have a couple matches, but he's in there to get the younger guys over, and that's what AEW has to bring their managers in. They have Jake Roberts to get Lance Archer over. They have Arn Anderson to get Cody over. They have Tully Blanchard to get Shawn Spears over. And that's what I like how AEW uses their managers and their mentors. And this is, if they have Sting partner with Darby Allin, potentially this is going to bring Darby Allin from the TNT level to the world title level, which would be a pretty big jump for him. So I'm excited for his future, man. I really am.
I have a theory that when Darby loses the TNT Championship, then he's going to get a match with Sting, and that's going to help elevate him to get a match for the World Championship. Because obviously we know Sting is there to help get others over. So Sting, I don't mind him wrestling, and it's probably just going to be maybe like 1 or 3 matches. We'll probably get 1 match with Cody. We'll get 1 match with Darby. And then we'll get probably a blood and guts match. I don't mind that. I honest to God don't mind that. Mainly because of the fact that what Sting is doing and how he's being portrayed is he's in this position because he wants to give back. He wants to give back to the wrestling industry after everything that the wrestling industry has done for him. And it really does go to show you how selfless Sting really is and how much he really cares. And the fact that we could possibly get a match between Sting and Darby, that intrigues me very, very much. And Sting, I'm not even lying, he looks great for his age. Sting looks great for his age, and I'm actually very interested to see what him and Darby produce. And that could actually help bring Darby into a position where he could be facing MJF for the World Championship by 2022. And that's going to be very interesting. I can't wait for that. So if he's wrestling 1 to 3 matches within the next year, I don't mind. If he's there to get others over, no problem. No problem whatsoever. People aren't going to look at Sting any differently. And my final report,
absolutely.
My final report comes from PW Insider. And, man, my favorite NXT superstar, good old Cameron Grimes. So Cameron Grimes, he underwent surgery last week, and he is said to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. So I wish Cameron Grimes a speedy recovery. I actually want to talk to you about something. Where do you think Cameron Grimes goes in 2021? Can you see him as a North American champion?
Yeah, I would hope. I mean, the guy's talented enough. I like him. Sucks that he's injured right now because he can't go up. He can't go to the moon right now since he's injured. But I don't know. Maybe in 2021 he will be the North American champion. Potentially take the championship off of Dexter Lumis, because honestly, that's the guy who I think is going to take the championship off of Johnny. So maybe next year at SummerSlam weekend takeover, Survivor Series weekend takeover, whatever, Cameron Grimes takes the North American Championship and takes it to the moon.
So those are our news, rumors, and reports. We're going to check the chat here. We missed a lot. We missed a lot in the chat. So, Jessie Callan, she jumped in. Thank you for coming. You actually made it. You made it when I'm still live. What else we got? Earl Cole, he left for now. He's cleaning his house. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. YouTube man, specifically Jessie Callan. Just letting you know there. What else we got here? Peanuts joined. How you doing, Peanuts? What else we got here? Cool King. Glad to have Joseph Conlin on here. Damn right. Proud Mixed Child joined in. Not to compare eras, but WWE's a sinking ship and give life by giving the wrestlers characters unscripted, uncensored, and it started when they started calling them superstars. I guess. Proud Mixed Child, Vince's senile old man, out of touch, which has been the case. Very true. Danielle likes the flailing arms. Danielle loves the flailing arms. Jessie Callan, I found Drew very boring in his last heel run. That was because WWE booked him boring. Cool King, Vince is too out of touch. He needs to retire already and let Triple H take over. I mean, you're telling me, man. Proud Mixed Child, like Warner Brothers, they give us what they think we want, and we've been wanting none of what they've given us. And CM Punk's shoot was truthful. Once Vince dies, WWE will be better off. Very true. Danielle is tired. I mean, if you want to go to sleep, Danielle, I mean, you can. I mean, I guess I could wake you up. With some more ranting. We'll be doing a lot of ranting about Monday Night Raw, and that is actually next. So, now that we've caught up with the chat, we're going to get into Monday Night Raw, and Joe, I want to just give me your quick thoughts on Monday Night Raw before we get into the specifics of the show.
My quick thoughts on Monday Night Raw. All right, but the show is garbage. That's really all I gotta say. They offered you not much to only go home show before TLC, and it's just it's the same thing every week, dude. It's same week. Different week, same show. I say it all the time on my channel. People know that I say that all the time, but that's really all I gotta say about Monday Night Raw. It's just the show's trash. I'm sorry.
So we started off with the dirt sheet with Miz and Morrison. So Miz was in the ring. He was surrounded by tables and ladders and chairs, and he read The Nightmare Before TLC. So AJ Styles was there. We had these spotlights. Miz was talking about Drew and AJ. Morrison was dressed up as Drew, doing his terrible Scottish accent. AJ and Morrison, they were like acting as if they were fighting. They were giving us a real-life theater, a live theater presentation. Styles then climbed the ladder and stood tall. Miz then talked about cashing in before Sheamus came out. Sheamus talked about the match between him and AJ. He's prepared to fight with his fist. AJ then threw a Christmas tree at Sheamus. And then I believe Sheamus threw a chair or something. He threw something at AJ. And that was that. Dude, if you want to know why Raw got a 1.52 million rating, just look at who was in this opening segment. I'm telling you, every week Dude, every week since The Miz won the Money in the Bank contract, we have had the same exact segment with the same exact people, with Drew, with Miz, with Morrison, and now they've added AJ and Sheamus, specifically because we have the build towards TLC. Dude, I really don't know what to say. This is what they think. This is what they think is going to draw people to watch. They're doing a Christmas children's story with a live theater presentation. Pathetic. What were your thoughts on this? Do you even want to air your thoughts on this?
Sure. I didn't even know if they were catering to the adults and the 18 to 49 watching the show, or they were catering to a bunch of third graders. But that's what it felt like, that they were catering this segment to a bunch of third graders, and it made nobody laugh. It was not funny at all. Miz and Morrison, dude, they're the biggest geeks on the show. They got to get Morrison away from this. Like, I've been saying this for a very long time, but they got to pull the trigger. Like, Miz is holding Morrison back so bad that now they got him as a fake Drew McIntyre. It's really sad to see. I've been saying that a lot today, but it's really sad how Morrison's been treated since he came back to the company in January. So, yeah, man, it felt like they were catering to the third graders in this segment.
So, Proud Mixed Child, I know I said I would check the chat after Monday Night Raw, but Proud Mixed Child, he said we're calling TLC TL Sleep. I think that's fantastic. Proud Mixed Child, I think you TL Sleep. I think you're going to become a regular here on the channel. I think you're going to become a regular here on the channel, broski. Anyway, so then after that, we got Sheamus versus AJ. We got Sheamus versus AJ. This was probably the best thing on the show. Not even bullshitting. This is probably the best thing on the show. This was actually a very good match for what it was. Sheamus took over control. We had a V-trigger sending Sheamus to the floor. Styles channeled his inner Kenny Omega. We then had Styles with a drop kick, almost, then took Styles off of Sheamus' shoulders, going into a commercial. Styles then targeted the leg of Sheamus. Sheamus with an Irish curse backbreaker. He mounted a comeback with a punt knee strike for a 2. We had a diving clothesline off the top for a 2. Calf crusher on the injured leg. Sheamus was then able to get to the ropes. We had a white noise connecting for a 2. Styles then chopped the leg off of Sheamus. He chopped out the leg from under Sheamus as Sheamus went up to the top. And he got a tight roll up for the win. Probably the best thing on the show. Very good match for what it was. The only thing worth going back and watching on the show. Sheamus then got tied up in the ropes upside down. And we had almost giving Styles a chair. And he whipped the chair. He whipped Sheamus with the chair over and over again. And that was pretty much that. Very good match. Sheamus, he looked good. Styles continued his momentum. And Drew McIntyre did not come out to save Sheamus. That is going to be the bridge to get the match between Sheamus and Drew McIntyre scheduled for the Rumble. So what were your thoughts on this match and what happened afterwards?
Very good match. Pretty hard hitting. Sheamus is a great wrestler. AJ's a great wrestler. So you're gonna get a very good match out of these two guys. That's what they did. AJ going over was the right decision because you got to get AJ that victory going into his WWE Championship match against McIntyre tomorrow night. But then the post-match attack, yeah, it's going to lead to Sheamus and McIntyre for the championship at the Royal Rumble. And I actually expect the Sheamus turn on McIntyre to either happen tomorrow night or Monday night on Raw. So, yeah, very good match between these two guys, and that's all I got to say about that.
So then we moved into a 6-man tag between Jeff Hardy, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods. They took on the Hurt Business. Hurt Business, they took over control. Lashley was ragdolling Kingston around over the top to the floor. he landed hard. He looked like he legitimately could have gotten injured. So, Lashley, you got to chill there. Hurt Business then isolated Kofi. We had Kofi trying to fight back. He made the tag to Jeff Hardy. Standard Jeff Hardy come back with an atomic drop, leg drop, and a drop kick. We had Hardy with a split-legged pinning combo on Cedric. We had Woods being taken out by Benjamin. We had a drop kick by Kofi to Lashley. A plancha on Shelton. Woods got sent into the barricade by Lashley. We had a twist of fate by Cedric, but Lashley tagged in. Cedric then crotched Hardy on the top turnbuckle, and then we had a hurt lock on Jeff Hardy and the Hurt Business win via Hardy tapping out. Based on this, dude, based on wrestling, it does not look good for the Hurt Business come Sunday. It does not look good for the Hurt Business, and to be quite honest with you, I'm not even sure if they're going to give them the tag team titles. Decent match, but we've seen a combination of matches with these 6 men over the course of the last month and a half. So the match wasn't terrible, but I don't understand how anyone could really care when we've seen at least 6 or 7 different matches with all of these 6 men. We've seen Cedric versus Kofi, or Cedric versus Woods, or the Hurt Business versus the New Day, or Jeff Hardy versus Lashley. It's been the same thing every single week, so I don't really understand how anyone could care about this match. It wasn't bad. And on top of that, I'm not sure if they're even going to give the Hurt Business the tag team titles, because as you know, if someone stands tall on the go-home show, that means they're not winning at the pay-per-view. So it really does throw out a little bit of predictability out there. And I actually do have another report, dude. Dave Meltzer actually confirmed that Bobby Lashley will be facing Matt Riddle at the Royal Rumble for the United States Championship. So we might not get the Hardy Bros. Now, we could get the Hardy Bros. We could have Lashley retain. Matter of fact, I expect Lashley to retain. I don't expect Vince McMahon to put Matt Riddle in a position where he's going to win a singles title, because I don't think Vince McMahon has that trust or faith in Matt Riddle. But I do have a feeling that we could very well see the Hurt Business win the tag team titles, and we could see Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy versus the Hurt Business at WrestleMania, with Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy going over. That could possibly happen, but if I was them, I'd give Matt Riddle the United States title at the hands of Bobby Lashley. We'll see what happens, but that's a report that I heard. But what were your thoughts on this 6-man tag?
I mean, it was fine. It was decent. It just felt like it felt long. Like, I don't know if it was me, but that 6-man tag felt long, and it went through like 2 commercials, and it's like, it's hard to care when you get a combination of between the matches, between like the Hurt Business, New Day, Kofi, and Shelton, Cedric, and Woods. But I want to talk about the report a little bit that you just said after the match. I'm a little surprised that they're going to do Bobby Lashley and Matt Riddle at the Royal Rumble instead of TLC, because most of the time they have the mid-card champion in the Royal Rumble match. So this year, I guess they're doing it differently, but I don't think Matt Riddle's going to win the United States Championship at the Royal Rumble. To be honest with you, I actually think they're going to start building up Keith Lee. I think they're going to do a U.S. Championship match for Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. I think it could be Keith Lee. So, and then they'll do Hardy Bros versus Hurt Business, because they have no tag teams on this show. So they gotta say, hey, let's figure out the solution. Let's just put 2 single stars in a tag team, and it'll all work out. No, it doesn't work out. That's not going to fix your tag team division at all, and it just shows your laziness to book tag team wrestling.
It's ridiculous, man. It really is ridiculous. I'm actually shocked that they didn't do the U.S. title match at TLC. Dude, think about this. Lana was booked for TLC over a United States title match, a Smackdown tag team title match, an Intercontinental title match, and Bayley and Bianca. How fucking sad is that?
Very, very sad.
Speaking of Lana, she took on Nia Jax afterwards. Lana got about 15 seconds of offense in before Nia Jax took over. Nia was hung up in the Tree of Woe, and Lana, with a double stomp to Nia in the Tree of Woe, she got a leverage pin, and she won. Shayna Baszler then attacked Asuka backstage. Nia then ambushed Lana, and Shayna stomped on Lana's arm. She then bent Lana's leg backwards, stomped on it. Lana was screaming, no, 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 please no, as if she's actually being injured. Nia then with the leg drop to the leg of Lana. She did about 2 more leg drops before Asuka came out to attack Baszler and Nia, and they were sent running. So I talked about this in the rundown for TLC, or TL Sleep, as we are calling it now, with Top Rope Squishy. And I talked about Lana. Apparently, she's out. PW Insider reported that she's going to be out for about 4 weeks, I believe. Now, I really don't believe that. I'll believe it when I see it, because WWE has done this before, where they take someone out and then they come back and make a miraculous return. One of 3 things are going to happen, as I've stated. And if you want my full thoughts on this, click the link in the description after the stream is over. I said this yesterday. One of 3 things is going to happen. Number 1, Lana's going to come back, make a miraculous babyface comeback and win the titles. 2, Eva Marie's going to return and win the titles. 3, Charlotte Flair's going to come back, as we have pretty much been conditioned to think. Charlotte Flair is going to come back, win the women's tag team titles with Asuka, and then challenge Asuka to the Raw Women's title, to a Raw Women's title match at the Royal Rumble, and she's going to beat Asuka. But Lana gets taken out. We'll see if she's really taken out by the end of TLC. But do you even want to talk about this, or do you just want to move on? Everything on Monday Night Raw just feels dead, and obviously no one gives a shit about Lana.
It is dead. I don't really want to talk about the match. The match was a waste of time. The match was 2 minutes. They, quote-unquote, injured Lana, like you said. I don't really think that... I don't think that Lana's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. I'll believe it when I see it. I actually think my prediction video, I said that she was going to make a miraculous return during the match. She's going to hop down on one leg, and she's going to pin Nia Jax to win the Women's Tag Team Championships. That's what I predicted, but all 3 scenarios, like you said, they're all trash, and it's not going to be scenarios I get behind at all. So, I mean, whatever, you know?
You know, I was actually on Twitter. Obviously, of course I'm on Twitter. I was on Twitter the night, obviously I'm on Twitter tweeting about Monday Night Raw. But did you see this one stupid-ass tweet? I can't remember. Okay, hang on. I think I have it in front of me. Yeah, I have it in front of me. So there's this one dude that goes by 3T Pod, Through the Table Podcast. And I'm telling you right now, this guy is one of the biggest WWE cocksuckers that I think I've ever seen. I literally have no fucking respect for this guy. This guy, I'm not even bullshitting you. I legitimately think, pardon my language, but I think this guy is legitimately mentally retarded. Pardon my language, but I'm thoroughly convinced he is. So this guy tweeted, listen to this. This guy tweeted when Lana beat Nia Jax. It's funny how Lana was being put through tables to punish her for Miro narrative changed to, wow, she's getting pushed and doesn't deserve it. Shaking my head. I think the guy's a legitimate fucking moron. I'm telling you right now. This guy is so fucking dumb that he doesn't even realize that the punishment isn't a fucking narrative. It's a fucking fact. That's number 1. And number 2, the only reason why she's being pushed is to get back at Miro. This has everything to do with Miro. She's being pushed so that way they can shove it in Miro's face, point at him and laugh at him and say, ha ha ha, your wife is being booked better, quote unquote, than you are. That's the only reason why Lana's even being showcased on television. If they didn't care and they weren't worried about Miro, she would be in catering every single week. She's a waste of fucking space. She would be jobbing out to literally everyone. Literally everyone. She'd be jobbing out to fucking Dana Brooke for all I care. And Dana Brooke is just as bad, if not worse than Lana. Dude, I'm telling you, Some of these people are just fucking stupid. I'm not even bullshitting. Some of these people are absolutely fucking stupid.
Some of the tweets I see on social media during Raw, during Smackdown sometimes, it's just very scary. And sometimes I'm concerned about them. It's like, dude, are you really like this? Are you this loyal to a garbage wrestling show? Like, that's what I think sometimes.
It's like they literally suck Bruce Pritchard's nuts for a living, dude.
Oh, dude. It's terrible.
Moving on.
You see it, it's ridiculous.
We're moving on. So, next came Elias. Elias, he was out there with Jackson Riker. So, he said he had a vision of this man when he was electrocuted, talking about Jackson Riker, obviously. Riker said Elias's music changed him. R-Truth came out. Elias says, "You're interrupting me now," so R-Truth didn't answer him. He says he doesn't want to interrupt. Then we had the Job Squad, a.k.a. the individuals, the catering crew, the Job Squad. They came out chasing R-Truth. Riker leveled a few people with some clotheslines and some spine busters, and that was it. That was it. You know, dude, I'm telling you, the Forgotten Sons gimmick seems like the best fucking gimmick in the world at this rate. Nobody cares about Jackson Riker because you kept them off of television and you completely disbanded the Forgotten Sons. Nobody cares about Elias. Elias is a mini Braun Strowman. The guy had potential, the guy peaked, and they didn't capitalize on him when he was the hottest thing in wrestling. After that Intercontinental title match with Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank 2018, Elias was never the same again. That was the one chance that they had. That was the last gasp for Elias. After that, dead. Yeah, like Elias and Jackson Riker are really going to spark up those ratings. At least, yeah, they're really going to generate some interest. Jackson Riker as Elias's roadie. Elias is dead. Elias is dead. End of conversation.
You wonder why the ratings are at 1.52? It's because of segments like this. Like, just get rid of the 24/7 title already. It's ruining the show. And if I were to make a video of how I would change Monday Night Raw, this would have to be at the top of the list because it's just a waste of time. You see guys like the Lucha House Party and Erica the Viking Raiders, who are good wrestlers, and they're being put in the catering crew. It's just, again, I'll say it again. It's just sad to see.
Oh my God, dude, you haven't even seen sad to see, dude. Keith Lee versus Miz and Morrison.
Now this was sad to see,
dude. Keith Lee versus Miz and Morrison. So Lee pounced Morrison out of the ring, and I'm not sure what happened, but Miz was a complete dumbass here. He just fell. And Morrison barely even grazed him. I don't know why he did that, but he looked completely fucking stupid just falling down, and Morrison barely even touched him. So Miz and Morrison, they tried to cut down Keith Lee. Quick double team moves. Lee came back with a double suplex. He tried to mount the comeback. Miz and Morrison with some enziguris and boots. Miz then picked the ankle, and they double pinned Keith Lee for the win. Yes, Miz and Morrison double pinned Keith Lee for the win. Dude, this was fucking terrible. This was absolutely fucking terrible. And then there's people trying to justify this bullshit. Trying to act like Miz and Morrison have any credibility whatsoever. What credibility do they have? Miz and Morrison have lost nearly every single match that they have had on television ever since they lost the Smackdown Tag Team Championships back to the New Day in April. They were in a match with Braun Strowman, who is pretty much Keith Lee if Keith Lee couldn't wrestle and had a beard, and they lost to Braun Strowman in 7 minutes back at Backlash. But yet, they can beat Keith Lee? Dude, this may be the biggest burial of an NXT call-up since EC3. Remember what happened with EC3? Remember he came up to the main roster? The man got fucking choke slammed through the stage by Braun Strowman. This is equivalent to that. We just didn't see Keith Lee get put through the stage. It is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Keith Lee, dude, this year, I'm telling you, it's like a tale of two cities with Keith Lee. The first 8 months of 2020 were excellent for Keith Lee. Won the North American title. Stood face-to-face with Brock Lesnar. Match of the Year candidate with Dijakovic. He was building a reputation as the best North American champion in NXT history before he eventually relinquished it. He beat Adam Cole to win the NXT title, and then he faced off against Karrion Kross, and then 2 days later, he's called up to Monday Night Raw. They put, like, basketball shorts on him. They put him in a singlet, changed his theme song. And now they're not even having him act charismatic. They're having him act all scrunched up and everything. Scrunching up his face, acting all serious. They're not even having him act like Keith Lee. I don't fucking understand it, dude. It is ridiculous. People, Keith Lee is absolutely buried. It is a fact. You look at the guy, he's dead. Miz and Morrison, who the fuck cares about Miz and Morrison? Who the fuck cares about Miz and Morrison? Miz and Morrison, it don't matter if they're 2 men, 3 men, 4 men, 5 men, 6 men, 7 men. They are undoubtedly the least credible male wrestlers. They are the least credible male wrestlers on the roster right now. They've done nothing but lose and lose and lose and lose. If Drew McIntyre can beat Miz and Morrison in a handicap match in which Drew McIntyre gets the majority of the fucking offense in, why can't Keith Lee do it? Simple. Because Keith Lee apparently is now on Vince McMahon's shit list because of the baboon-ass face himself. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Undoubtedly, the biggest burial of an NXT call-up since EC3. It is absolutely disgusting. I'm appalled, dude. I am absolutely appalled. I'm appalled. Do you want to say anything?
I really got nothing to say. It's just, I don't even know what to say anymore. I talked about it on Monday night. It's just really sad from putting him in basketball shorts, putting him in a skirt, changing his theme music, saying Vince McMahon saying that Keith Lee can't wrestle, which we all know he can. His main roster, I think this is the biggest main roster call-up botched in a long time. You want to describe one word for Keith Lee's main roster run so far? Botched.
Dude, I don't know. I really don't, man. But we have that. So we got that, and then we go into Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse field trip. So he came out wearing a Fiend Christmas sweater. Puppets were at ringside. He said, "Hello, Fireflies." He says, "I'm sorry, Randy. We were having the time of our lives last week. It was one giant misunderstanding, and he has a very sad, sick, deranged, twisted mind of his own." He, specifically meaning the Fiend. So he tells a few jokes. What's the best way to measure a viper? Inches, because they don't have any feet. What do snakes use to clean their car windows? Windshield vipers. So he was laughing, the puppets were laughing. Orton then came up on the screen, and he says, when the time comes, he'll look the devil in the eyes and say, the most evil son of a bitch has come home. So the Fiend gave him the chance. You changed, and he appeared. Orton said, Wyatt loves to play games. How about we play a game of hide and seek? Wyatt then laughed. He said, I can't resist the game. I accept. Orton said, come find me. And Wyatt says, I'm coming to find you, Randy. Let the games begin. So throughout the second half of the show, he was walking through the Thunderdome, Tropicana Field, trying to find Randy Orton. Now, this was somewhat entertaining. The build hasn't really been a problem for Orton and Wyatt, but I don't understand how anyone could be excited or interested in this match when The Fiend has been undoubtedly the most poorly booked character all year? I don't know. What were your thoughts on this?
I didn't really like it as much as you did. I didn't really like it as much. It's like the rhymes that Bray Wyatt was trying to say, they were really cringy. It didn't make me laugh at all. And like you said, like what I've said on the channel, with my channel before, I just don't care about Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. I really don't. And even with the Firefly Inferno stipulation, if you add a couple fire flames to the ring, that's not going to intrigue me at all. So
It's just going to be used as eye candy.
Exactly. It's going to be used as prop, like prop where it's kind of like Christmas lights, where you have Christmas lights on the top of your house, and I say, oh, look at that. That's exactly what it's going to be here.
Speaking of props, Retribution, the biggest fucking prop that doesn't add anything to the show, Retribution's Mace, a.k.a. Disgrace, took on Ricochet. Now, Mace didn't look half bad in this. I don't mind Dio Madden wrestling. I really don't, but if this is the best that you fucking got for him, I mean, come on. So, Mace, Disgrace, with a Harlem sidekick on Ricochet, Booker T style. Ricochet with a missile drop kick, a punt kick, and a shooting star press for a 2. Ali was on commentary with the rest of Retribution, so he sent Applejack, Kangaroo Jack, Jack Black, Jack Off. So Jack Off, he caused a distraction. We then had, my biggest fan, T-Balls, the guy that blocked me on Twitter. T-Balls, he got involved as well. We then had a double choke bomb for a 2. Ali then shouted, shut him down. I believe it was a modified air raid crash, if I'm not mistaken. A modified air raid crash got the win on Ricochet for Mace, or Disgrace. And then Ali, he ordered Retribution to hold Ricochet up. He was holding him by the chin. And he said, this doesn't end until I say it ends, and it ends when you join Retribution. I mean, Ricochet is already a fucking flop, so if you want to be an even bigger fucking flop, I'm still hoping that Retribution will continue to lose. And then Ali just disbands the group. But I don't even think they know what they want Retribution to do. They're legitimately just keeping this stable together because they legitimately have nothing else for any of these individuals in Retribution to do, which is sad.
Yeah, I mean, very sad. I just don't care about these guys at all. I mean, they're useless. Do you remember when WWE tweeted out back in August that a new 5-man faction was going to be debuted in August, and everybody on social media went crazy for some reason. It was trending on social media right before Raw, and then it ended up being this. I was so hyped up. And not hyped up by me, because I know better. But I mean, look at these guys now. They're the biggest jokes on the show, next to Miz and Morrison. It's almost laughable, kind of. So
no, it's absolutely laughable. Like, that's all you could do is just laugh because of how fucking terrible it is. That's all you can do is just laugh.
And I actually think this is going to lead to Ricochet. It's going to lead to Ricochet against Mustafa Ali, which is going to be their big match or whatever. Even though it happened before, it's going to be their big match. And I think this is going to lead to Ricochet joining Retribution.
I hope it leads to Ricochet leaving the fucking company.
Facts.
So, from there, we had a run-in with Matt Riddle and Wyatt. They had a run-in backstage. Riddle was talking about his bronouns. Yes, bronouns. I kid you not. They are literally overexposing the bro catchphrase for Matt Riddle.
Talk about being treated like a geek.
Matt Riddle, he was then approached by Rambling Rabbit. He showed up. Matt Riddle said, you remind me of Baby Yoda. I'm going to call you Baby Broda. And then he gave him a carrot. Unreal. It was also announced. Yeah, it was also announced that Lana's going to be out of TLC. Again, we already talked about that. We had Dana Brooke and Shayna Baszler. Nia Jax then caused the DQ. Literally, Nia caused the DQ. Shayna couldn't beat Dana Brooke in less than 30 seconds. Ridiculous. Mandy Rose then came out, attacked Nia and Baszler, as well as Asuka. And Mandy Rose and Asuka sent the tag team champions running. Do you even want to talk about this?
Nope.
Wyatt was then looking for Randy Orton, and he saw his old Wyatt family rocking chair in a dark room, and he sat down in it, and he was rocking back and forth. And then out of nowhere, Orton came up from behind him, blindsided him. He blindsided him, and they started brawling. Orton then locked Wyatt in a production crate. And then he poured gasoline on the crate and lit it on fire. Yes, he lit the crate on fire. And then afterwards, after a few seconds of being on fire, the Fiend popped out. Fiend popped out. Orton then was caught in the mandible claw, and Orton passed out. And that was pretty much that. And that segment produced WWE announcing the match to be a Firefly Inferno match. Unless the match is cinematic, it's not going to be a success whatsoever. It's not.
I don't think it's going to be cinematic, to be honest. I think it's going to be a straight-out Inferno match, and I'm not going to have any interest in it. If the match turns out fine, great, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to mean anything.
Neither do I. So after that, we had MVP and Matt Riddle. This went less than a minute. Matt Riddle wins with the final flash, knee strike, and the floating bro. Lashley then tried to attack, but Riddle got out of dodge. And that was that. So, Matt Riddle and Bobby Lashley apparently is confirmed for the Rumble. I don't really see it playing out good for Matt Riddle, but I do see Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy winning the tag team titles from the Hurt Business at WrestleMania. Is there any chance at all Matt Riddle becomes United States champion?
There's some chance, but I don't think it's happening. No.
He legitimately, I'm telling you, Vince doesn't know what to fucking do with him. We had the championship ascension ceremony between Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles. Tom Phillips introduced them. Styles said that this will probably be the last time that you have that title. Drew says he doesn't crack underneath the pressure. I'm a freaking diamond, says Drew. Styles says, what if it's not just me you're facing at TLC? So Miz and Morrison then attacked. Miz and Morrison both got claymored. Almost then threw steps in the ring. We had a phenomenal forearm to Drew. Styles then put Drew on a table. He jumped off the ladder and put Drew through a table with a flying elbow. And then he climbed the ladder and grabbed the title. Held it up. Standard TLC build. Nothing too crazy. I was just ready to fucking turn it off after the first 15 minutes of the show. Again, if you guys did not love me ranting and raving about the show so much, then I legitimately would not even review Monday Night Raw. But what were your thoughts on this championship ascension ceremony? Then we're going to check the chat, and then we'll move on to AEW Dark.
I mean, it was all right. They saved you. I think the match is going to be good at TLC. I think the TLC match between Styles and McIntyre is going to be very good, but they saved you 20 minutes because they pretty much gave away the result on Monday night. So,
pretty much. Let's check the chat. We missed a lot in the chat. We always miss a lot in the chat. The chat's very active. I appreciate you guys. The chat is very active. Mr. Miz, Raw is a nightmare every week, says Adam. Tell me about it, bro. And, yeah, Jesse, of course I was going to hate the segment. The segment sucks! Of course I'm going to fucking hate the segment. It sucks. So...
before we get to AEW Dark, let's get to 15 likes. We're at 14 likes right now. So
no, we need to get to 30 likes on this stream. We need to get to 30 fucking likes on this stream.
By the end of this stream, but I'm talking before we talk about Dark.
I need you guys to share it out, people. We need to get a lot more people in here. You too, Joe. You got to share out this stream. We need more people in here. Share out the stream to everyone. A lot more people should be awake now. So we need to get some more people in here. So we're going to continue to check the chat. Proud Mixed Child, if Riddle should win if it's a singles match for the title at TL Sleep, because no one never cared about Lashley with Lio Rush or as a part of a collective, so it doesn't matter which way this plays out. Danielle's having a field trip. She's dabbing. She's dabbing and dabbing and dabbing. Jesse Callan, don't encourage Danielle. Oh my God. Cool King. No dabomania here. Thank you very much, Danielle. Cool King says you can't fix stupid sometimes. Tell me about it. Proud Mixed Child. Vince loves his blondes. Nobody gives a damn about Lana, similar to when they pushed the Lacey Evans agenda. Facts. What else we got over here? We got Proud Mixed Child. NXT call-ups get treated like No Way Jose's Conga Line and Adam Rose's Rosebuds. You're fucking telling me. Proud Mixed Child. Retribution and CM Punk's Straight Edge Society 2.0 with more members. True. Danielle's still dabbing. Proud Mixed Child, he's got to go, but I hope you have an awesome day. Thank you very much, Proud Mixed Child. If I don't see you on the rewind for TLC, Proud Mixed Child, you have a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. So, we are still at 14 likes. I need you guys to share, and I want you to share on all platforms of social media. We need to get more people in here. We got to get to 30 likes. You do the same, Joe. Share it out. And we are going to get into AEW Dark right now. So, dude, let me tell you something. I love AEW Dark. I really do. I love AEW Dark, but, dude, the 16-match format is way too fucking overbearing. It really is. I would much rather have a nice 5 to 7 match format where we have maybe 1 or 2 enhancement matches and then like 3 or 4 really competitive matches. That would be great. A competitive Dark instead of an enhancement Dark would be a lot better. There's no reason why Dark needs to be longer than Dynamite. I don't understand why one Dark was like almost 3 fucking hours. No reason for AEW Dark to be longer than Dynamite. So one thing that I'm looking forward to once the pandemic is over is they're going to go back to doing Dark regularly, and it's not going to be 16 fucking matches a week. I understand what they're doing and they want to enhance people's records, but 16 matches is way too fucking long. I'm sorry. So, first match, Ricky Starks versus Sothura Chun. Standard showcase for Starks. We had a big spear for the win. Could Ricky Starks be the next TNT champion after Darby?
I don't think Starks is going to beat Darby. Honestly, dude, I think Pac will be the one to defeat Darby Allin for the TNT championship. But, yeah, I do think we're going to obviously, they're setting up Cage versus Darby right now for the TNT championship. At Immediate Revolution, we get Starks versus Darby for the TNT championship. Not sure about that, but that's where I think they're going.
Makes sense. I do see Pac taking the title off of Darby Allin probably at Double or Nothing in May. That makes sense. That's a decent time for Darby to hold it. And then we could see Darby and Sting at All Out. So, we had Baron Black versus Brandon Cutler. Cutler with a reverse 1916 and a springboard elbow for the win. Brandon Cutler, I can see having a better 2021. He's actually on a 7-match winning streak. I'm actually glad that Brandon Cutler's actually starting to win because he's a very underrated talent. So I'd actually like to see Brandon Cutler versus Darby Allin for the TNT title as an interim match. I'd actually like to see what Brandon Cutler can do with someone like Darby Allin, if you know what I mean. So, can you see Brandon Cutler facing Darby?
No. I'm sorry. I don't see him in a championship scene anytime soon, so. But, I mean, I am glad that he is on a winning streak, so.
We did have Hikaru Shida. She got a showcase match. She fought Kylan King. This is a decent little match right here. Nothing too special. Kylan King is actually coming along very, very nicely. I'm actually liking what Kylan King is doing. So Sheeta, she kept the offense on. King with a sunset flip pin. We had a running neck breaker for a 2. Sheeta then came in with an enziguri and a rising knee strike. Falcon Arrow for the win. That was pretty much that. Afterwards, Abaddon came out of nowhere. She attacked Sheeta, hit the Widow's Peak, and then held up the title. So decent little match right here. Decent showcase for Sheeta. Dude, I'm telling you right now, Abaddon, she looked a little bit better the last time that I saw her. When she was in a match, she looked a little bit better, but a decent squash, that can only go so far. We need to see what she can do in the ring with a top-tier talent before she gets a women's title opportunity. And either way, Abaddon is not winning. Abaddon's not winning. She should not win either.
They're probably going to do Abaddon versus Sheeta at New Year's Smash, either night 1 or night 2. But I think they're just doing this to stack up title reigns for Hikaru Shida, and that's nothing more than that. The match with Conlin King was good. I like the match. Conlin King, she came a far way since she's came to AEW since the pandemic. Is she signed by any chance? I'm not
completely sure, but she's pretty fluid in the ring. She's actually intense in the ring, and that's something I can appreciate. She has a decent look, and she's crisp with her strikes. So I think that Conlin King could be a very decent hand in the women's division. She really doesn't have too much of a character, but she's a damn good women's wrestler. A lot better than fucking Abaddon.
Yeah, she's good. So maybe they sign her in 2021 to be in the women's division.
So we had the waiting room with Dr. Britt Baker. Now, listen, I do not like the wrestling-inspired talk shows. I absolutely fucking hate them. I hate wrestling-inspired talk shows. But this was actually fairly decent. I actually didn't mind this. That's not to say I want to see more of the waiting room, but this was actually a fairly decent segment here. So Rebel introduced Britt Baker. She talked about what's going on Dynamite. She insulted Cody's neck tattoo. She introduced Shawn Spears and Tully Blanchard. She's coming along very well on the microphone, so I don't mind her on the mic. Tully then pointed out Shawn Spears' 17-2 record. Shawn Spears has not lost a match since May. So I can definitely see Shawn Spears as an interim challenger for Darby, probably after Cage. And then we get Ricky Starks at Revolution. So they cued Marco's stunt. So Marco's stunt was at the door. Spears then shut the door on Marco's stunt. A second time the door rang. Scorpio Sky came out of nowhere, charged through the door. He started attacking Spears. Britt and Rebel then yelled for security. And then Shawn Spears, he literally got launched by Scorpio Sky through the fucking wall. And I don't know about you, I found that a little funny. I actually laughed when that happened. Britt and Rebel, they were distraught, and that was pretty much that. I thought this was very entertaining. I thought that Sky putting Spears through the wall was fucking hilarious. And I do see another match between the two down the line. So I would actually love to see Shawn Spears get another win over Sky. And then possibly he could get a TNT title match against Darby Allin. So what were your thoughts on this?
I thought this was very entertaining. I am liking the waiting room stuff with Britt Baker. She's getting a lot better on the microphone than she was before. And the good segment overall. This will probably lead to another Scorpio Sky Shawn Spears match, probably at New Year's Smash night 1 or night 2. Shawn Spears won the first match, if I'm not mistaken. So I think Scorpio Sky is going to win the second match, which will ultimately lead to a third match. But I would like to see Shawn Spears as an interim TNT Championship opponent for Darby Allin.
I think it should be a pretty nice showcase for Spears. We'll see what happens there, but it'll be very, very interesting. I like what Shawn Spears does. Shawn Spears, he's actually a very underrated talent. He hasn't had too much of a showcase, I believe, because he's got his own wrestling school to worry about, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why Shawn Spears has been kind of on the back burner. So after that, we had Shawn Dean and Fuego del Sol versus Jurassic Express. A lot of standard showcases here. Jurassic Express wins. I can see Jurassic Express taking the titles off the Young Bucks at Revolution, and I would absolutely love that. So Jurassic Express absolutely taking the taking the titles off the Young Bucks at Revolution. Skylar Moore versus Leva Bates. Dude, this match was fucking garbage. Leva Bates is not a good wrestler at all. Her strikes are not crisp at all. Her strikes are fucking weak. They are weak. Skylar Moore actually looked decent. Bates, my God, she is horrendous. I don't know what you saw, but she's fucking horrendous.
Yeah, I really got nothing much to say about the match. But going back to the match before that with the Jurassic Express, do you see them beating FTR to get to the tag team titles?
Yes. They've been winning and winning and winning, Jurassic Express. I think it's about time that we get Jurassic Express onto that next level, and we are going to see Jurassic Express beat the Bucks at Revolution, because Matt, I believe he's still dealing with that injury. I don't think that they're just going to have the Young Bucks keep the titles for an extended period of time. I think that they're actually going to try and get the Bucks off of television so they could get Matt that surgery, because Matt can't deal with that forever. That's obviously going to take a drastic effect on his fucking health. Can't fucking do that.
Yes.
So, I believe that Jurassic Express are the next in line. We had Brian Cage versus VSK. Cage absolutely destroyed this guy. Drill Claw City for the win. So, Brian Cage and Darby Allin, TNT title. Is that going to take place on night 1 or night 2 of New Year's Smash? I'm going to go with night 2 because I want to give that match a spotlight of its own. Because if it's on night 1, I feel as though it'll probably outshine. It would probably be outshined by Kenny and Phoenix.
I agree with you. I think that match takes place on night 1 of New Year's Smash, and they'll probably have Darby go over on Cage. So, yeah, I thought this match was VSK. It was a good showcase for Brian Cage, and that's all I gotta say.
Louis Valley and Mike Magnum versus my boys, the Acclaimed. I fucking love the Acclaimed. So Caster took the mic. They're the best thing about Dark, undoubtedly. So Caster took the mic. He said, the next team to get the big W over SCU, and on Dynamite we gonna whoop their ass. We are the future, y'all are the past. And tonight we got a warm-up, a mullet, and a guy addicted to Pornhub. The Acclaimed stay winning. Acclaimed stay spinning in the world, baby. So, Max Caster, fucking love what Max Caster does. Anthony Bowens is physically impressive. They introduced the boombox as well. That came into play on Dynamite, which we'll talk about. But I love what the Acclaimed are doing. The Acclaimed win with the Acclaimed to fame. And now the Acclaimed go to Dynamite to face off against SCU. That was on the following night. What were your thoughts on this, and where can you see the Acclaimed going?
I thought it was a decent tag team match, showcasing the Acclaimed in this match and then getting the win. I'm going to talk about where I see the Acclaimed going more in the SCU match. So I'm sorry to not answer your question now, but I am going to answer the question when we get to the Acclaimed SCU match later. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we had Anna Jay versus Danny Jordan. Danny Jordan actually has a decent look. I think that Danny Jordan could actually be something in due time. Jay won with the Queen Slayer. Where can you see Anna Jay going? Because right now, she really isn't going anywhere. She got a decent showcase against Hikaru Shida not that long ago. I can see Anna Jay possibly becoming women's champion by 2022.
Well, right now, she is in the Dark Order, which we all know that. She's also in a friendship with Tay Conti. And I think sooner rather than later, they're going to break up. I think Tay will become a babyface, and they'll go their own separate ways. Anna Jay will win the women's championship, and we will get Anna Jay and Tay Conti down the line for the women's championship. It might not happen this year, but it will happen in the next coming years in the AEW women's division.
Speaking of the Dark Order, we had Bear Country versus the Dark Order. Bear Country actually looked fairly decent here, but ultimately the Dark Order won with fatality. I actually do see the Dark Order as an interim opponent, probably for the Young Bucks in January, and that's going to be the Young Bucks' bridge to Revolution, where they face off against Jurassic Express. What were your thoughts on this?
I thought actually their country looks very impressive. They're two large guys, strong, tough guys, and I thought they looked very impressive. They're about to face Jurassic Express, I believe, on this week's edition of Dark. So I might have to watch that. But yeah, these guys really impressed me. As for Dark Order, Stu Grayson and Evil Uno, I would like to see these guys back on Dynamite soon. They're way too good to be a tag team competing on AEW Dark. Their chemistry together is just, it fits like a glove. And I want to see them back on Dynamite, give them a showcase win. And if you want to make them an interim challenger for the Young Bucks, go ahead. But I think these guys need to be back on Dynamite sooner rather than later. Oh,
no, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. So, then we had Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela versus Sean Maluda and Ryzen. Kiss and Janela win with the split-legged leg drop. Who cares? We need to get Joey away from Sonny Kiss. Joey Janela is much better in a singles role than he is with Sonny Kiss. So please get Joey Janela away from Sonny Kiss. Put him in a singles role. It's really not doing anything for Janela or Kiss. I don't even know why they even signed Kiss, to be quite honest with you. But that's where I see where I see the value in Janela. He's much more valuable as a singles guy.
Yeah, I got really nothing to say about this match.
So we had Ty Conchi versus Freya States. Conchi actually looked very good here. Her strikes, I was watching Conti in this match. Her strikes, if you noticed, it was a lot more fluid, a lot more crisp. And I actually like that. She won with a modified butterfly sleeper, and Freya tapped out. And that was pretty much that.
Yeah, it felt like it's a Dynamite match against, I believe it was Red Velvet a couple weeks ago. To me, in my opinion, she looked pretty slow in that match, even though she got the win. But she looked much better here. Her strikes were pretty fluid. And, yeah, she's going to be a player in the AEW Women's Division down the future. And I'm excited for her future, man. I think she's a little bit green, but she's getting better than from what I remember seeing her in NXT.
She's slowly coming along, and I think that in due time she will be something. I do think that Absolutely. She will be something. So we had Danny Limelight and Matt Sydal. Sydal wins with the page turner. I could see Sydal as another interim challenger potentially for Darby, depending on how they book him. Because Matt Sydal, he's actually very good at what he does. So what are your thoughts on that?
I thought it was a good match. I feel like they're just bringing in Sydal. He's a good wrestler. He has fun matches, but it might be me, but I feel like they're just bringing him in to put young talent over. Like, yeah, they can have him as an interim for a TNT championship. Him and Darby would be a fun match, but they haven't put over Eddie Kingston and Brian Cage. I feel like he's just there to put others over, sort of like Timothy Thatcher in NXT. I think Matt Sydal's much better than Thatcher is.
Oh no, absolutely, he's much better than Thatcher is. Like if you're gonna tell me that Thatcher over Matt Sydal, I mean, come on. At least see Matt Sydal does a lot more than just fucking locks. Every single time I watch Timothy Thatcher, all I see is a fucking lock, a wrist lock, an ankle lock, a shoulder lock. Do something else besides a fucking lock, man. Come on. Ridiculous.
Absolutely.
So, from there, we went to Casey Lennox versus Ivelisse. Ivelisse won with the modified octopus stretch. We're going to talk about Ivelisse a little bit more because Ivelisse, it's very, very possible that Ivelisse could very well be positioned higher up on the card, and we're going to talk about what that means later on. But main event was Chaos Project versus the Best Friends. Chaos Project sucks. I don't care about this match. Trent won with a cradle on Luther. Afterwards, Miro came out and referees held him back. That was pretty much AEW Dark. But, dude, I'm telling you, they really need to chill with the 16-match format. They really need to. I cannot take the 16-match format. It's too much, dude. It really is too much.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it's better than Waldo this week, so.
No, obviously, but still.
Yeah. Like 7, in my opinion, 7 to 8 matches is perfect. Like 16, 15 matches, you're just exhausting the audience. And no one wants to watch 15 developmental matches. Like you said earlier, 8 matches, 4 developmental matches, and then 4 matches that have members of the roster competing against each other. That's great. That's what I would want to see. But again, we got another 15-match card coming up on Tuesday night. So
it's too much, man. But anyway, let's check the chat before we move to Dynamite. We got 3 more shows to review. Check the chat before we move to Dynamite. So we got Ruben Day coming in. What else we got? We got Earl Cole's back. Thank you very much for coming back, bro. Peanuts and Danielle are on a Dabapalooza. I don't really know why. Earl Cole, SmackDown was not decent. SmackDown was horrible. Dark does not suck, Danielle. What else we got? Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. I think we caught up with the chat. It's just a bunch of dabs. Everyone's fucking dabbing now. It's a Dabapalooza. Why do we still have just 14 likes? That's what I'm still wondering. Come on. We need more likes. What we need is we need to get to at least 30 likes. The fact that we are not is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know why we are not at 30 likes already. I mean, I bust my ass every single week. And I got Joseph Conlin on here as well. But regardless, we're going to talk about Dynamite.
Now too, so.
Thank you very much. We're going to talk about Dynamite. So dude, Dynamite this week, listen, it was decent. I'm not going to say it was a shit show, but this was really a filler show. This show was mainly used as a bridge to get through this week. It seemed like this show was just there for the sake of it being there, specifically because of the fact that they need something. They needed something to put out there because they got 3 big shows coming in on the 23rd, on the 30th, and then January 6th. So at the end of the day, if people wanted to skip the show, they could have skipped the show. It really wasn't all that special. Really wasn't all that intriguing. We had some decent material, but ultimately it was just a throwaway show. What were your thoughts on it?
I thought it was fine for what it was. It was just a bridge to get from this show this week to the Holiday Bash. But we're coming off of an awesome Winter is Coming show and a really good Dynamite for the previous week. So not every episode needs to be spectacular like a lot of people expect these Dynamite shows to be. But, I mean, it was fine for what it was. There was some good matches. I'm not going to say there were great, really good matches. There were good matches on the show this week. But I feel like the 23rd episode of Dynamite, we're going to talk about that. I feel like that card is very strong. We're getting Omega defending the World Championship on the 30th. So I think these next 3 episodes, it's going to be a good treat by AEW to its fans. So.
Very true. So the show started off with Adam Hangman Page, John Silver, and Alex Riddle versus Matt Hardy and Private Party. So Matt Hardy, he showcased a little bit more of a heelish side. Silver and Reynolds, they came out wearing cowboy material like Adam Page. This is a decent 6-man tag. Really nothing too special. We had some swift back and forth moves from both teams. Hardy wore down Silver before we got the hot tag to Hangman. Hardy with a side effect to Hangman for a 2. Reynolds came in with a rolling elbow and a cravat suplex. Reynolds and Silver with some double team assisted moves with Hangman. So they're showcasing some tag team cohesion there with Hangman and the Dark Order. We ended up having a twist of fate to Silver on the floor, gin and juice to Reynolds, and then Hardy covered for the win. I'm actually surprised that Hardy and Private Party ended up getting the win. Decent six-man tag, nothing really too special. This was merely meant to get a decent match out there, enhance the storyline with Hangman and the Dark Order, which I do believe is leading to a match with Brody. Hardy is showcasing a little bit more of a heel side. We'll see where that goes, but really, nothing special. Decent six-man tag, that was pretty much it. Went about 9 minutes, and that was pretty much that. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it was decent. Some good, really like the combinations between Silver and Reynolds. Like, they're really getting over on me, especially on John Silver, if you watch Being the Elite. But it was a decent six-man tag. Hardy is showing heel tendencies, but I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think, obviously, I don't think Hardy Party is going to be that going on for long. But in my opinion, I see Private Party being the ones to turn on Matt Hardy. Do you see it that way, or do you see it the opposite?
I honestly don't know, and to be quite honest with you, it should probably be interesting to see how it plays out. I'm just very interested to see the storyline play out, to be quite honest. I really don't know. I'm gonna be quite honest. I really don't know. It could possibly end up with Private Party turning on Matt, but with the way Private Party's presented, they're just natural baby faces in my eyes.
We'll see. I mean, the turn's not going to happen now, I think, but it's going to happen sometime down the line. So we'll see what happens.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. So I don't know. I don't know. Like, just by looking at them, I just look at them and I see baby faces. It's really going to be hard to convince me that Private Party, a team as charismatic as them and as open and as fun to watch as them, they're going to be heels. It's going to be very odd. So you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of surprises, Cody and Brandy, they revealed that they are having a baby in 2021. So congratulations to Cody and Brandy right there.
Yeah, congratulations to them, and I'm sure they'll be awesome parents.
So, speaking of Cody actually took on Angelico. He took on Angelico, where we got another fairly decent match. Solid match, really nothing too special. Cody mounted a comeback with a beautiful power slam. We had Angelico with a modified octopus. Cody got to the ropes with his teeth. Angelico then dodged the disaster kick and locked in the inverted figure four. Cody ended up getting to the ropes. Cody then with a Cody cutter for the win. Team Taz came out. He mocked Cody becoming a father. And he said Darby's going to get his ass whipped by Cage. They headed to the ring before Sting came out again. And Team Taz sent back to the locker room. Sting then winked at Cody and stared at Darby before he left. Standard match, solid match, nothing too special. And Team Taz is always good, but it was pretty much the same promo that we've seen with Team Taz for the last few weeks. So it was just kind of a shrug of the shoulders type moment. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I thought the match between Cody and Angelico was good. We all knew that Cody was going to win. That's exactly what happened. And yeah, it was the same Taz promo that he's cut the past couple weeks on Cody. And that's all I got to say. I don't really got nothing much to say about that. But the match is good. And we'll see what happens at this Brian Cage Darby Allin match. Like I said, it should be good. And Darby's going to retain the TNT Championship.
No, absolutely. So then we got Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston came out and he took the mic. He says he doesn't care about anyone. He says that he's got a lot of enemies. He said he hurt Pac. He's nursing his injuries and his career's done. So then he called Lance Archer that big goofy bastard, which I laughed at. Kingston's fucking hilarious. Then Archer came out, dove over the top rope, attacked Eddie Kingston. Butcher and the Blade came out before Pac, the Lucha Bros, they came out. We had a big brawl with Phoenix doing a tornillo to Butcher and the Blade, just a big fucking melee. Pac and Archer, then they got into a war of words because they wanted Kingston. So we actually got some tensions brewing between Archer and Pac. And fortunately, cooler heads prevailed. But at the end of the day, Lance Archer and Pac, there's something there. And I do believe that what this is going to result in, this is going to result in Eddie Kingston. He's going to use that tension. He's going to use that tension. He's going to try and drive a wedge between Lance Archer and Pac. And he's going to try and use that against them to get them to tear each other apart. So that way he can reap the benefits. And we could see a triple threat match. What about you?
I like where this is going. It's Eddie Kingston. He is trying to get tension between Lance Archer and Pac. I think this is going to lead to a match between Archer and Pac. That's something I really want to see. That could be a very good match. And then I think they're going to come to realize that, Eddie Kingston is, trying to get them fighting against each other so that he can step to the side and just watch. And it will lead to a match at Revolution between either Kingston and Pac or Kingston and Archer. And I think it's going to be it's going to end up being Pac going up against Eddie Kingston at Revolution. But I like where this is going. I'm really liking this storyline so far.
So from there we had a 12-man tag with the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle taking on Top Flight, the Best Friends, and Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. Now, I'm not going to say that this was a bad match, but there's really no reason to do these crazy over-the-top 12-man tags or 14-man tags. I really don't understand why we need to see crazy over-the-top matches with so many people. It really turns into a clusterfuck. We did have some decent wrestling here. Pillman got into it with Jericho. Griff Garrison, he tagged in. He got into it with Sammy. Dante Martin and Sammy had a little back and forth, which was nice. Trent and Santana got into it, and then we had a big throwback to the parking lot brawl. We had a 6-way hug by the babyfaces before Trent was isolated. We had a tag to Dante Martin. Beautiful standing Spanish fly. Dante then with a tope on Santana. We had the Best Friends with Soul Food half and half combo. Griff Garrison with a rolling elbow. Jericho then hit Garrison with the bat. And we had Hager doing an F10. It was a sloppy-looking F10, but it was an F10 nonetheless. To Garrison, MJF then tagged in and got the pin. And that was pretty much it. Afterwards, we had a big brawl in which Top Flight, they stood tall, leading up to a tag team match next week between Top Flight, Jericho, and MJF, which I think is going to be an excellent fucking match. So, what were your thoughts on this 12-man tag?
I don't like these big 10, 12-man tags. It's just so chaotic, and it's so out of place, and it's just very messy at the end. So I didn't like the match. The one positive that came out of this is that we are getting Top Flight versus Jericho and MJF next week on Dynamite, which I think is going to be very huge. They're getting these guys over. Top Flight. It's really amazing. They're coming along. The craziest thing about this is they just got here. Darius Martin is 21 years old. Dante Martin is 19 years old.
Crazy to fucking think about. They're no older than me. They're no older than me. And that's fucking crazy.
Dante is a year older than me. And as a 19-year-old, imagine having your first 2 out of 3 matches on Dynamite against the Young Bucks. And then in a multi-man match, we got Chris Jericho on the opposite side. And then next week, they're going to be going against Chris Jericho and MJF. So That is crazy to think about.
Dude, it day by day it becomes more stunning how high Tony Khan really is on young talent. And it's something that Vince doesn't fucking have. He doesn't have the eye. He doesn't have the eye for young talent, which fucking sucks.
I know. And imagine these guys 3 years from now. They're going to be even better. They're going to be the new Young Bucks.
They really are going to be the new Young Bucks. They're going to be huge, dude. They're going to be absolutely fucking huge. So, after that, we had Britt Baker and Rebel. They attacked Thunder Rosa backstage. I'm assuming that is going to result in a match between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, probably on one of the holiday episodes. That would only make sense. I see Britt Baker going over. We had the Acclaimed versus SCU. Caster took the mic. He said, "We about to beat SCU. Leave you looking like a victim on SVU." So Christopher Daniels, he said, "Yo, Christopher Daniels, you're a doormat. Looking like a CD, an outdated format." Kazarian then did a little rap battle himself. He called the Acclaim men on a mission. He called their raps the shits, and he says that we're going to whoop your dumb ass. So Kazarian, that was actually pretty entertaining from Kazarian. That was actually better than the match itself. The match was very, very standard. The Acclaimed, they isolated Kazarian before we had Daniels making the tag. He lit up Bowens and Caster. Blue Thunder Bomb on Bowens for a 2. We had Caster hitting Daniels with the boombox, and then Bowens with a modified Uranagi for the win. They then did a diss track on the Young Bucks, and then Bowens challenged the Bucks to a tag team title match next week. So, what were your thoughts on this match, and what are your thoughts on the tag team title match for next week?
Good stuff here, man, between the Acclaim. They are another up-and-coming tag team that I'm really getting over with very quickly. Like, their entrance in Dark was the first time I've ever seen their entrance, and, like, right there, I got into them, like, that right there. And it's just, I'm interested to see this match with the Young Bucks on Dynamite for the Tag Team Championship. I'm sure that they're probably not going to win, but I think they're going to be showcased really nicely. And just like Top Flight, man, they got a bright future for them. And imagine them 3 years from now.
Bowens and Caster, I'm telling you, Caster's got the mic skill, Bowens has got the in-ring ability. Even though Caster's pretty decent, but Bowens is undoubtedly the better wrestler. He's much more fluid and much more crisp in the ring. So it's going to be very, very, very interested.
Yeah, although Bowens is the better wrestler, I think that Caster's the bigger standout in that tag team.
Oh, no. Yeah. True. So, what else we got? We got Diamante and Ivelisse. They took on Big Swole and Serena Deeb. This was probably the best overall match outside of the opening match. Decent tag team match for the women right here. Nothing too special. Deeb with a suplex to Diamante and a shin Muda breaker to Ivelisse. Serena Deeb is very, very good at what she does. We had a neck breaker on the rope to Ivelisse, gutbuster in a figure 4. We had a tag to Diamante. Diamante came in, and she got a 2 count on Deeb. Swole came in with a headbutt, Tiger Driver, and then the Cloverleaf. Deeb isolated Ivelisse, and Diamante tapped out. Decent women's tag team match. Afterwards, Nyla Rose came out to attack. Red Velvet came out with a chair, and she stood tall. She sent Nyla Rose, Ivelisse, and Diamante packing. Now, decent match. Really nothing too special here. But the one thing that stood out to me, dude, is the fact that Ivelisse, she was not pinned or submitted. She's been winning a lot on Dark. I have a feeling that if Britt Baker is not ready for Sheeta by Revolution, I have a feeling that we could potentially see Ivelisse slide into that position as a plan B, and she's going to be another interim opponent for Shida possibly at Revolution before we get Britt Baker eventually taking that title off of Shida. I don't know. Did you get that vibe?
No, I didn't get that vibe. The vibe that I was getting was I have no idea where this is going. Like, 2 weeks ago, they had all the women's wrestlers attacking each other backstage, which I was pretty confused by. And then this hit post-match with their big brawl and Nyla Rose coming out and Red Velvet coming out. Like, I don't understand what they're leading to here, in my opinion, but I don't know.
I'm telling you, I think that Evil East could potentially be an interim opponent. I'm telling you. So, as I said before, we got a tag team title match next week with the Acclaimed and the Young Bucks. We got Top Flight versus Jericho and MJF. Hikaru Shida will be in action. Jurassic Express will go up against 5, 10, and Colt Cabana of the Dark Order. Dustin Rhodes takes on Evil Uno. And we get Pac versus The Butcher. So it should be a very, very interesting week next week. Kenny Omega then took on Joey Janela in a no DQ match. This was really just a standard showcase match for Kenny. Janela then tossed a trash can immediately at Omega. Janela with a suicide dive and a tope con. Then we got a tope con hero by Kenny to Janela while he was sitting in a chair. Don Callis then took the microphone himself and he started doing his best Leo Rush impersonation. So Kenny then whacked Joey Janela with a cookie pan. Omega then, he took the microphone. He said, "I'm feeling great." So they're trying to be as obnoxious as possible. We eventually got Omega doing a leg drop off of the top, sending Kenny through a table. It looked like he landed right on Kenny's head. That looked fucking crazy. We had a moonsault missing, a V-trigger, a second V-trigger, and a one-winged angel for the win. It was pretty much a standard showcase match, but Omega and Callis were very entertaining, but really nothing special, nothing that you need to go back and rewatch. Callis then took the mic. He said that so many unanswered questions for the world champion before Pac and the Lucha Bros came out. He said, we have a problem here. Rey Fenix advanced, but he never lost. Callis says, wrestlers don't tell the world champion what to do. Pac said, that's where you're wrong. I spoke to Tony Khan, and on December 30th, on Dynamite, Kenny, you will defend the world title against Rey Fenix. So that is going to be a great fucking match, and that ended Dynamite. It wasn't a bad show, but it was just a standard showcase match. It was just there. It was just a bridge show just to get to the holiday episodes. That was pretty much that. Kenny and Don Callis are very entertaining, and now we get a world title match between Rey Fenix and Kenny Omega. That's going to be fucking huge. That's going to be very fucking huge. So, what were your thoughts on this ending match/segment?
The match was a statement match by Kenny Omega to get the victory. He mostly dominated the match against Janela. Janela got a couple moves in. He got a leg drop to a table, and then Kenny got the victory. The Rey Fenix match coming up on the 30th, man. Take my money. That's going to be an awesome match for the World Championship. I'm sure that'll main event. And I don't know about you, but do you see Jon Moxley returning that night?
It's a possibility. I have a feeling that they might build up Moxley to get another match with Kenny at Revolution, considering that it's a rather interesting scenario where you don't really want to put anyone against against Kenny at Revolution that's gonna be hurt from a loss. And Moxley's probably the best person to put against Kenny, because Moxley, he could take a loss, he gets his rematch, and he gets Kenny through Revolution, and that's pretty much that. So I don't mind Moxley returning, and I don't mind seeing Moxley versus Kenny at Revolution. That way we can get another bridge match for Kenny Omega, and we can get Kenny Omega into Double or Nothing. I don't know who he faces at Double or Nothing, but I would not mind seeing Moxley return at one of the holiday shows.
Yeah, I mean, they could do Hangman at Double or Nothing, but I think they're gonna wait till All Out.
Yeah, they're definitely waiting to All Out, because that's their WrestleMania.
Yeah, maybe if I'm thinking of a babyface, I could face any at Double or Nothing. I would say maybe Darby. No, Darby's going to be the TNT. I'm not sure. That's a good question. I'm not really sure.
It's going to be a toss-up, dude. It really is going to be a toss-up. So, that was Dynamite. Decent show, but ultimately it was probably the most skippable episode that they've done this year. Really nothing too special. Nothing crazy at all. We're going to check the chat before we move into NXT. We have... Danielle's mad because someone did a thumbs down. Oh, and hey, a new famous person followed her. Hey, congratulations, Danielle. Jesse Callan's got to take a hike. It's been fun. Thank you very much for joining, Miss Jesse Callan. What else? It's still a dabapalooza. You know, too much dabbing and not enough likes. How are we still on just 14 likes? I mean, come on. We need to get more people in here. I don't know what the hell's going on, but we need some more likes. We definitely need some more likes. I hope to gain some more likes a little bit later on in the stream. We got about 2 more shows to dissect, so hopefully we'll be able to get some more likes. We've been on 14 likes for a while. I know there's a lot of people out there with multiple accounts, so there's no reason why we shouldn't have at least 20 likes. I mean, come on. Yeah, that's right, Adam. It is TLC from last year in the background. So, we're going to move on to NXT. NXT was actually very good, and I'm not even bullshitting you. I actually thought this was the best NXT, the best normal NXT episode since before the pandemic. Everything flowed very nicely. We got some great wrestling on the show. We got some storyline advancement on the show, and they're setting up some interesting scenarios for New Year's Evil. I expect New Year's Evil to be an excellent show because NXT, the special shows and the takeovers always deliver. So I expect New Year's Evil to be an excellent show. But NXT this week, this was the best normal NXT episode since before the pandemic. We started off with Leon Ruff and Kushida versus Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory. This was actually a damn good tag team match right here. Ruff was isolated by Theory and Gargano. Ruff actually slipped off of the top. He legitimately looked like he hurt his leg, so I'm not sure what happened there. Ruff lost his footing, but you gotta fucking chill, Ruff. You gotta chill. As long as, if you know what you're doing, fine, but you need to fucking chill with that. So, thankfully he was not hurt. And he finished the match, thank God. We had a leaping DDT on Austin Theory, but Theory and Gargano came back with a dropkick slingshot spear combo on Ruff. We had a tag to Kushida, and he lit up both men with a dropkick to Gargano. Big soccer-style kick to the arm. Ruff then with a springboard missile dropkick. Tagged Austin Theory. Theory with the torture rack. Blue Thunder Bomb. Looked beautiful. We then had a double super kick, but Kushida saved it. Theory then took out Kushida. We had a springboard cutter on Gargano before Theory tagged himself in, and he hit Ataxia on Leon Ruff for the win. Austin Theory benefits from his partnership with Gargano. Kushida was not pinned, which I'm happy about, and that was that. It was a damn good match. We got Austin Theory getting his first victory in a long time, and I'm super glad that Austin Theory is back on a winning streak, and Kushida was not pinned, so I can't really complain about that. It's really nothing too overbearing, but it was a damn good tag team match for what it was. The only thing that I'm concerned about, dude, is the fact that I don't know why they're pairing Kushida against Gargano now, because Gargano just won back the championship, and Kushida's been on a 5-match winning streak. At this rate, Kushida can't lose. It's a must-win for Kushida. Are you really going to shaft Gargano again? I don't understand. This is a detriment. This is actually a detriment because this is a product of Karrion Kross returning. Karrion Kross didn't need to be back in NXT. I stated this, that Karrion Kross, he was ready for the main roster. He could have gone up to the Royal Rumble, dude. By putting Karrion Kross back into NXT and having him go up against Balor inevitably at WrestleMania TakeOver, you are pretty much putting a stranglehold on the NXT Championship. Seriously, who's there that's going to take the title off of Cross? Maybe Ciampa, if they tell that story. Maybe Damian Priest, but they're doing Damian Priest and Karrion Kross in 3 weeks at New Year's Evil. So ultimately, Karrion Kross actually does more harm for NXT now than he does help. It's a different ballgame. It's a different landscape for NXT. If anything, I would have given the NXT title opportunity to Kushida and have Kushida take the title off of Balor at WrestleMania TakeOver. And I would build up Kushida as the next big thing. When else are you going to have a proper opportunity to do so? So I don't understand why they're putting Kushida against Gargano, because if they put him against Gargano, then Kushida has to win. Gargano, he just won the championship, so you're going to shaft Gargano again? I don't like that. I don't know. What were your thoughts on this tag team match and where they could possibly go?
First off, about the tag match, first thing, I'm glad Leon Ruff survived, because I was really scared when he made that botch, and I legitimately thought that he hurt his leg in that match. So, number one, I'm glad he's okay. Number two, I agree with you. It looks like they're doing an interim Kushida-Gargano match, but why would you do it? Why would you make it an interim? Because Kushida's one of your hotter guys on the brand. He's on a 5-match winning streak, like you said.
No, he's not a 5-match, 5-month. He's won like 10 matches in a row.
Oh, 5 months winning streak. So that's even bigger for Kushida. If you put him against Gargano, he has to win, in my opinion. But he could beat Gargano. But like I said, I think Dexter Lumis is ultimately going to be the guy to take the North American Championship away from Johnny Gargano. As for comparing between The Way to Austin Theory and Gargano, I really do think this is going to benefit Austin Theory. They treated him like a jobber. When he came back, he lost every single match. They treated him like a jobber. They let him off television. I really do think this pairing with Austin Theory and Johnny Gargano, it's going to benefit Austin Theory in a good way. So.
Oh, no, absolutely. I don't understand why it wouldn't. I mean, just take a look at him. I would actually, you know what I would do? I wouldn't have even have had Gargano win back the North American Championship. If you want to do a partnership with Gargano and Theory, I don't mind that. Matter of fact, I would actually have Gargano and Theory in the tag team division, start building up the tag team division again, and you can have Gargano and Theory potentially win the tag team titles down the line. I don't mind that. Damian Priest realistically should have never lost the North American Championship. I don't understand why you only had Damian Priest hold it for like 67 days. That's disrespectful to him. If Damian Priest was the North American Champion and then Kushida beat Priest at TakeOver War Games, I would have been okay with that. Because then Kushida would have had a nice 4 or 5 month reign with the title, and then he would have dropped it to Dexter Lumis. That I wouldn't mind. But I don't understand why you needed to do the flip-flopping hot potato maneuver with the North American title. But either way, we got a damn good match here, and Ruff is okay. Gargano and Theory, they benefit from their partnership. Kushida was not pinned. Dexter Lumis was on a pedestal in the crowd, and he was drawing. We actually found out what that meant later on. So we had Tyler Rust versus Tommaso Ciampa. And let me tell you something, dude. I did not expect anything from this match. But, dude, Tyler Rust, he's actually very good. Tyler Rust is actually very good. He doesn't have any charisma. He doesn't have a character, but he's a damn good professional wrestler. This was a damn good match with Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa, he could literally make anyone look good. This was damn fucking good. So Ciampa, originally, he took out a chair, he set it up, and he left the Timothy Thatcher shirt on the chair. So Thatcher ended up coming down to watch the match. Rust accidentally super kicked Timothy Thatcher, and the refs had to escort Timothy Thatcher out. So that was that. Ciampa then came back with some clothesline, a clothesline barrage, clothesline after clothesline after clothesline. Big air raid crash for a 2. Rust then came in with a beautiful axe kick. Literally, a beautiful fucking axe kick by Tyler Rust. We then had Rust trying for an armbar. We had a big punt kick and a flipping front neck breaker by Tyler Rust for a close 2. Ciampa fought back with a running knee, and he hit Willow's bell for the win. Afterwards, we had Malcolm Bivens, the former manager of Indus Share. He came out and he he approached Tyler Rust and offered him his services, and they walked to the back together. So, first things first, Tyler Rust is damn fucking good. He's very, very crisp and fluid with his offense. That I will say. This was a damn good match. We got some damn good wrestling on NXT. Damn good match with Tommaso Ciampa. But I don't fucking understand. I don't understand why they're continuing this feud with Timothy Thatcher. You take a look at what Tommaso Ciampa's done. He beat Velveteen Dream. He beat Timothy Thatcher. He beat Cameron Grimes. He beat Tyler Rust. If anything, Ciampa has more of a case of why he should be challenging for the NXT Championship. I'm wondering why Ciampa isn't facing Balor at New Year's Evil. Now, don't get me wrong, Kyle O'Reilly and Balor, that's going to be a great fucking match, but I just don't understand why we aren't building based off of logic. Tommaso Ciampa, he's been winning matches. He hasn't been pinned in like 2 months. Why isn't Tommaso Ciampa getting an NXT title match? Why are they continuing this feud with Timothy Thatcher? If anything, I hope after this feud, I hope that Ciampa is back in the NXT Championship title picture. Even if it's an interim match against Finn Balor, I want to see Ciampa versus Balor because I want to see Ciampa get his due. Because why would you go 4, 5, 6, 7 matches in a row winning, and then you get nothing? It's kind of like what Aleister Black went through. Aleister Black literally beat everyone on the main roster, and they gave him no title opportunities. Can't fucking do that.
Yeah. I was shocked when I saw this was not a squash match. I was like, okay, this young kid, he's getting his offense in on Tommaso Ciampa, one of the top guys on the NXT brand. So obviously they're high on him, and that's fine. I'm glad they're high on him, and he's going to be something good down the line. But I don't understand why they're continuing this thing with Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. Ciampa is so much better, and he's on a so much bigger level than Timothy Thatcher is, in my opinion. So the fact that why they're continuing this feud, I got no idea. I hope this doesn't lead to another match between them because Ciampa beat him clean as a whistle at the last TakeOver. So there's really no reason for these two to be fighting. And I do think that Ciampa should be getting an interim championship match down the line or even win the championship, but with Karrion Kross back, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I don't understand. I really don't understand why they are bringing Karrion Kross back. See, Vince McMahon fucked up when he pushed Karrion Kross to the moon way too early. He pushed Karrion Kross to the moon way too fucking early. That I don't fucking understand. I really don't understand. And because of that, he got injured. Now is a different ballgame. You're really going to shaft everyone just so Karrion Kross could have a legitimate NXT Championship reign. And if Karrion Kross loses, then you're pretty much wasting a talent. So it's a lose-lose situation. That's why Karrion Kross...
He ain't losing, dude.
Exactly.
There's no way he's losing.
Exactly. So you're going to give him the NXT Championship just to put a stranglehold on it and give him a legitimate reign. And then who knows? Maybe he may not even lose that title straight up. He may just relinquish it and go up to the main roster. So I really don't understand that. I really don't understand. But regardless, I do hope Tommaso Ciampa gets back into title contention. Damn good match with Tyler Rust. We then had Kyle O'Reilly and Pete Dunne. This was a number 1 contenders match to see who was going to face Finn Balor at New Year's Evil. Dude, this was fucking excellent. This was an excellent match. Kyle O'Reilly, he's been putting on some great fucking singles matches in the last month or two. He's been putting on some excellent performances. And they even had him get the pin at War Games. They had Kyle O'Reilly win the War Games match. So, first things first. Excellent match. Second thing, here's a question I want to ask you before I dissect this match. Are they building up Kyle O'Reilly to be the singles guy of the Undisputed Era, and is Adam Cole going to go up to the main roster on his own?
No. I don't think if Adam Cole is going up to the main roster, you got to bring all of them up to the main roster, in my opinion. Stick them as a faction. But right now, I think Adam Cole and I don't know. Do you know where Bobby Fish was on NXT this week?
Yeah, he's injured. He tore his tricep. He's out.
Oh, so he's probably going to be out for a while. So in the Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do think Kyle O'Reilly will be the singles guy in NXT. I see Cole going for the tag team championships with Roderick Strong to potentially go up against Tony Lorcan and Danny Burch for the tag team. Maybe that happens at New Year's Eve. Maybe it doesn't. But I think it's going to happen sometime down the line. But I mean, this match was great, dude. A great, hard-hitting match between these Kyle O'Reilly and Pete Dunne. I'm actually shocked that Kyle won this match because Kyle had already got his shot at the TakeOver 31, and I would have liked to see what Pete can do against Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. But I don't know. Maybe they're saving his shot for a bigger stage at a later date. But this match was great. I can watch these guys work together all day. And I'm sure we're going to get another awesome match at New Year's Eve between Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor. So
I was shocked Kyle O'Reilly won this match too. And you know I would not mind seeing Cole and Strong face Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch at New Year's Eve. As a matter of fact, I would actually go forth with that match. I would go forth with the tag team title match and potentially a women's title match between Raquel Gonzalez and Io Shirai. I would not mind that whatsoever. Now, I was shocked Kyle won this match. I was extremely shocked that Kyle won this match. But maybe they are saving Pete Dunne for a bigger stage. I actually do agree that they are saving Pete Dunne for a much larger stage. So they started off slugging it out. Well, before that, Drake Maverick and Killian Dane, they came out to attack Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. The Undisputed Era started getting into it, and then Breezango returned. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there. I don't know. I think we could possibly have a triple threat tag team match between Killian Dane, Drake Maverick, the Undisputed Era, and then Breezango. And then the winners, they get Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch at New Year's Evil. And I do think that the Undisputed Era, Cole and Strong, are going to win that. So they started out slugging it out, swift back and forth. O'Reilly took over. O'Reilly with a big knee to the chest. Dunne with the X-Plex, and then he stomped on the hand of O'Reilly. O'Reilly then came back with the kitchen sink, a pop-up knee, Muay Thai knee strikes. We then had Kyle O'Reilly getting trapped in the Tree of Woe, Dunne with a drop kick right to the gut. They had a moment where they were repeatedly pulling each other into the turnbuckle. That looked brutal. We then had Dunne with a beautiful sit-out powerbomb, high on the shoulders for a 2. O'Reilly and Dunne then with submission transitions. Beautiful brainbuster by O'Reilly. It's either O'Reilly or Cedric that has the best brainbuster in the WWE. We had a big knee and then a regal plex on Dunne for a 2. Dunne then with an enziguri. He snapped the fingers, but O'Reilly with a suplex off the apron. And then he had a diving knee to the back of Pete Dunne's neck. And Kyle O'Reilly wins an excellent fucking match. Kyle O'Reilly is going to New Year's Evil to give Finn Balor another run for his money. I don't see him winning, but I do see this match being another excellent match. And it really does tie up loose ends. It ties up loose ends. I don't mind it. I'm surprised Kyle won. But if we're going to be quite honest with you, Kushida and Tommaso Ciampa, they have better cases of why they should be facing off against Finn Balor. Now, I'm assuming that they're going to be saving Pete Dunne for a bigger stage. And who knows, maybe we do get Pete Dunne versus Finn Balor at the WrestleMania TakeOver. I actually wouldn't mind that. There's no reason to rush Karrion Kross back to the title in just 4 months. I would take my time with it. So we'll see what happens there, but I definitely see Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor putting on a great performance. I do see Pete Dunne and Tommaso Ciampa as challengers for Finn Balor in the near future. What else can you see? Can you see Pete Dunne facing off against Balor at the WrestleMania TakeOver, or will it be Kross?
They're going to run this. Cross, there's probably going to be a February TakeOver show. Honestly, I think they're giving Cross the championship back at that TakeOver. And then who knows what's going to happen there. You can't rush a Cross-Tommaso Ciampa match. But I don't know. I think Cross, they're probably going to rush Cross back to the NXT Championship scene, and he's going to beat Balor at the February TakeOver. That's what I see happening. So
I hope not. I really do hope not. But we had another torture vignette with Boa and Xia Li. They were being forced to beat themselves up. Xia Li was literally punching and kicking Boa. Boa was fucking destroyed. And we had the mystery woman showing her face again. And I can't even believe that I'm saying this, dude, but Boa and Xia Li may be involved in the most intriguing storyline in NXT right now. I'm actually very interested to see what happens here. I actually am very excited to see who the mystery woman is. And I actually think that the best route to go, I hope it's Meiko Satomura. I really hope it's Meiko Satomura.
Yeah. I haven't really been watching like these vignettes the past couple weeks because I don't watch NXT every single week. But I mean, this was very entertaining, I guess you can say, because Xia Li was forced to absolutely beat the shit out of Boa, and he was bleeding profusely all over the place. But yeah, let's see where this story goes.
We then had Indy Hartwell versus Shotzi Blackheart. Dude, Indy Hartwell's fucking terrible. Indy Hartwell sucks, dude. She is so stiff and uncoordinated. She cannot fucking wrestle. I feel bad. Her timing was fucking off. And I feel bad. I feel bad for Shotzi. She actually hit Shotzi with the trophy, and Shotzi won via DQ, and then Shotzi was on the receiving end of a wicked stepsister from Candice. I actually see Shotzi and Candice fighting at New Year's Evil if they want to add a fifth match to the show. But what were your thoughts on this?
Yeah, Indy is green as grass. It's going to be a long way for her to get to where she wants to be and where we want her to be. But yeah, if she's going to be in this storyline with wrestlers like Candice LeRae and Shotzi Blackheart, she has got to do better.
Dude, she's the only person in the way that I actually cannot stand. I would have no fucking problem. I would have no problem with the way if they would replace Indy Hartwell with someone else. Oh, and here's another thing. We have still not gotten an explanation as to why Indy Hartwell is even helping the Garganos, and it's been 3 months.
It's really been that long?
She started helping the Garganos all the way back in the Battle Royal when Candice LeRae won the right to challenge Io at TakeOver 31. And they have not given us one single solitary explanation as to why.
That's where you miss your long-term storytelling with NXT.
Ridiculous. Next week, we got Bronson Reed returning. That should be great. We also got Isaiah Swerve Scott and Jake Atlas. They're having another match next week. Karrion Kross took on Desmond Troy. He absolutely destroyed Troy. The Cross Jacket got the win. He then said, Priest, time's up. January 6th, New Year's Evil, tuck your chin because your ass is mine. Tick-tock. So I think that's going to be a great fucking match. Damian Priest and Karrion Kross, I think they got the potential to be a very, very, very nice pairing, and they're going to put on a very, very, very good match. I think that Damian Priest could potentially lead Karrion Kross to his best match in NXT. Karrion Kross's best match in NXT has been with Dominik Dijakovic, but I think that Damian Priest has the potential to bring Karrion Kross to an even greater match. So, what were your thoughts on Karrion Kross challenging Damian Priest at New Year's Evil?
I think that's going to be an awesome match. I really do. I think it's going to be hard-hitting. These guys are going to absolutely beat the shit out of each other. Cross is undoubtedly going to get the victory. And it should be a really good match. I think it's going to lead to Cross winning and probably lead to Cross challenging Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. Now, for next week's NXT, it comes on at 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah, NXT next week is normal time, I believe.
All right, so I'll probably watch NXT before AEW because AEW does not come on until 10 o'clock because of the NBA. So.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. So after that, Loomis, he was announced as the host. He was announced as the host for New Year's Evil, which I don't mind. I think that could very well be a way to bridge into a feud with Johnny for the North American title. So we'll see what happens there. And then the main event, we got Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley. This was a very good women's match for what it was, but I still don't understand why Kyle O'Reilly and Pete Dunne wasn't the main event. I don't understand that.
I agree.
So, Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley, what were your thoughts on this?
Good match. Good match overall. I didn't understand why Raquel came out and distracted Rhea Ripley and costed her the match. Are we getting another match between Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez, and this time it's going to be Rhea putting over Raquel to elevate her to challenge Io Shirai for the Women's Championship?
I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. We're going to get Raquel Gonzalez and Rhea Ripley on the 30th of December, and then we're going to see Raquel go over. Rhea Ripley could very well get boosted up to the main roster, and she could potentially win the Rumble. Raquel Gonzalez is challenging Io Shirai at New Year's Evil. Toni Storm, ultimately, I do believe that Toni Storm is the woman to beat Io Shirai. Toni Storm is going to be the woman to take the title off of Io Shirai at the WrestleMania weekend takeover. So Toni Storm ended up winning this. This was a very good women's match for what it was. Gonzalez ended up tossing Rhea Ripley into the post. Storm ended up winning with the Storm Zero. Very good women's match for what it was, but Kyle O'Reilly and Kyle O'Reilly and Pete Dunne still should have main evented the show. So, for New Year's Evil, I can see the Undisputed Era versus Lorcan and Birch, Raquel Gonzalez, Io Shirai, and now we got Priest and Cross, and then O'Reilly and Balor. So that's a nice four-match lineup for the show. Overall, very good show. Probably the best normal NXT episode that wasn't a special event since before the pandemic. And that was NXT. NXT was the better show than AEW this week by far.
Yeah, it was very good. It progressed into some storylines happening in New Year's Evil. I think New Year's Evil is going to be a stacked show, so we'll see what happens.
Rick Pangman, he was like number 16. We're actually at 17 likes. Danielle, she is baby shopping with her daughter. I have no problem with that. You go spend time with your family if you want. Peanuts says that Rust and Champ, I believe he's talking about, was a good match. Even though it's not the same, NXT is still better than the main roster, says Adam. That's pretty much what we got going on in the chat. And we are on to the last show. We've been going for almost 3 hours. We're going to get out of here after the Smackdown review. Dude, Smackdown was fucking boring. Boring. Jesse.
It had a couple good things on the show, but besides that, the other stuff was like filler. So
Jesse Callan is still in the chat. I should have left ages ago. Why didn't you leave? Aren't you at work? I don't want to get you fired now. I mean, the only person that we're trying to get fired here is Bruce Pritchard, not Jesse Callan. Just let's keep it real here. But anyway. But dude, SmackDown, absolutely fucking boring. Absolutely fucking boring, dude. I don't really know what else to fucking say. Absolutely fucking boring show outside of a few things here and there. We had Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens came out to address the crowd. Obviously, we had tables and ladders and chairs surrounding the ring. He tells Roman to come out, and he says he heard Roman's message. Owens had a talk with his family, and he told them not to watch TLC, specifically for what they would think of him after what he does to Roman. He says that Roman's kids know that Roman is a hypocrite, and he uses his family as pawns, and that's pathetic. You know you're not the head of the table. You're a coward. So Heyman then came up on the screen, and he brought up what happened on Talking Smack. So he called Owens a masochist. He said that Roman is a sadist. But Owens, he was wrong about Owens. He's not a masochist. He is a martyr. He is a martyr. So he says that mutilation won't stop you, so you need to be taken out. Owens says that he's had enough of Heyman's BS, and he says that, well, if Roman won't come to him, then I'll have to come to Roman. So Owens then exited the ring, and we go into a commercial. Adam Pearce was trying to stop Owens from entering Roman's locker room. Roman's locker room was locked, but then Roman's music hit. And Roman went walking out to the ring with Owens, so Roman obviously playing mind games with Owens. Roman then took the mic and he says he doesn't want to hurt Owens, but you're saying that I'm a bad guy. I'm just doing the things you need to do to be the guy, and you wouldn't understand that, so stay in your lane. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to give you the same chance I gave my cousin. Acknowledge me as your tribal chief, as the head of your family table. But if you don't, and if you can't, you ain't making it to TLC. Apologize and tell me the words I want to hear. So Owens came out. Jey Uso attacked him from behind. Owens tried to fight back, but Roman got into it, and they took turns attacking Owens before officials came out, and Roman and Jey were separated from Owens, and they walked away. They're doing a very good job building sympathy for Owens. They're doing a very good job. And Owens, I'm telling you, Owens, he has done an excellent job in this rebel role. Owens, he's probably one of the best people to put in that role because he's relatable. And we can all relate to a guy like Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens, he's great in the ring, but now he's got a family. They're bringing his family into this. And we can all relate to a guy that wants to do what he wants to do, to stand up to a prick and fight for his family. So I can respect that. What they're doing has been very, very good. And I've said it once and I'll say it again. This has been the best built match towards TLC. This is probably the only match that anyone even cares about, even if it's predictable. And if anything, this match should main event the show. So what were your thoughts on this opening segment?
Pretty basic. My opinion is pretty basic, but not bad. They pretty much did everything they could to build up to this match going into the pay-per-view. So last night, it was just the final touches, and the final segment of the segment we'll get to, I thought that was really good. But besides, this was fine for what it was, I guess. But yeah, Owens he's easy to cheer for against a prick like Roman Reigns, who's going after his family and is saying you need to acknowledge me as the tribal chief and all that. So
I'm actually liking babyface Owens, and there's some people that may even say that Owens plays a better babyface than he does a heel. And you know something, if this storyline has taught you anything, maybe it's because Roman is just great. Maybe it's because Roman is just that good, but Owens has really played a really good babyface. If anything, this is a match that they could have saved for WrestleMania if they wanted to, and it would have been even better then. But they're putting Owens in an interim role for Roman Reigns, which I don't really like.
Both World Championship matches at TLC could be WrestleMania.
No, yeah, true. They both could be WrestleMania matches. Outside of the 2 world title matches, there's literally no reason to watch TLC.
Exactly.
So, we had the Street Profits versus Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. This was for the Smackdown Tag Team Championships. Dude, I was watching NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 with Bobby Roode as the NXT champion. I'm wondering, where the fuck did that Bobby Roode go? He was the best heel in the fucking industry at that time. I'm like, what the fuck happened to him? Dude, I look at this Bobby Roode, and then I look at the Bobby Roode that faced Drew McIntyre at Takeover Brooklyn 3. I'm like, what the fuck have they done to him? It is sad, dude. It is really sad.
You want to know what they did to him? They made him everybody else ordinary.
It's sad, dude. I'm really getting sick and tired of it all. I really am. But the match itself, for 12 minutes, it wasn't a bad match. Really wasn't a bad match whatsoever. Standard stuff, but it may have been a standard match, but it was very good for what it was for 12 minutes. Roode and Ziggler, they took over. Ford was isolated before Dawkins got the hot tag. We had a big flying back elbow to Roode. Flapjack to Ziggler, some corkscrew splashes. Dawkins with a double underhook neckbreaker on Roode for a 2. We had a pop-up Famouser. Roode launched Ziggler over his head into a Famouser on Dawkins. That actually looked very nice. Roode saved the match after we had the cash-out connecting. We then had Roode rolling up Ford with the tights, but Ford reversed it, and he rolled up Roode with the tights for the win. The match was very good for what it was, but I don't understand why you need to do this match again, and you're pretty much setting up another match with the fact that you had Roode lose with a roll up with the tights. I don't understand why you couldn't just do Shinsuke and Cesaro at the Royal Rumble to bridge the Street Profits to WrestleMania, because the Street Profits are eventually losing those titles to the Usos. The Usos are going to go on a tyrannical takeover towards the summer with Roman as the Universal Champion, and they're going to be the Tag Team Champions. So the Usos and the Street Profits, that is your WrestleMania match, which I have no problem with whatsoever. But I don't understand why you can't just do Cesaro and Shinsuke at the Rumble, and you have to do another match between Roode and Ziggler. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
The match was good for what it was, but obviously the finish is going to lead to a rematch down the line. How they get to that rematch, I don't know. They'll probably have Roode and Ziggler win singles matches against the Street Profits. It's basically the same thing on Raw with the New Day and the Hurt Business, but a Street Profits Uso match for the Tag Team Championships, that's something I would want to see. I was about to say not want to see, but I had to stop myself for a second. It's like, that's something I would want to see. And Usos as a Tag Team Champion for Roman Reigns could be something very interesting down the line if they wanted to do it. But this match is good, so it'll probably lead to a Tag Team title match, probably on a Smackdown. It won't happen at Rumble, probably, so.
Makes sense. So, from there, we actually had Jey Uso, backstage attacking Owens with a chair. Adam Pearce had to watch as Owens got up after Jey left, but that was not the last that we would see of Jey Uso and Kevin Owens.
Bless you.
Thank you. We had the Riot Squad versus Billie Kay and Tamina. Billie Kay is exactly what she should be, an irrelevant jobber. So Billie Kay, she is on the receiving end of a dropkick flatliner combo, and the Riot Squad wins. Good on the Riot Squad. And no matter what happens at TLC, Riot Squad are the number one contenders for the women's tag team titles. So what were your thoughts on this?
I really have nothing much to say about this match, dude. I mean, Billie Kay and Tamina as a tag team, you can't get any worse than that. But yeah, the Riot Squad, they should be set up to be the number one contenders for the tag team championships, no matter who wins tomorrow night. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. We had Carmella in a promo. So she came out with a victory toast. She said that she's better than everyone. She said that Sasha doesn't have what it takes to be a champion mentally. He said she doesn't have what it takes to be a champion mentally. She has what it takes to be a champion physically, but not mentally. She said that she is in uncharted waters because this is the longest that she's ever held a championship, and she's drowning in the pressures of her own expectations. She got herself disqualified because she felt her title slipping away. She knows that I already have her beat. She's still going to be so angry, she'll fight her own instincts. And that's a fight that no one, not even Sasha Banks, can win. She's going to fall into a turmoil and she'll break. Who's Sasha if she's not the boss? Who's Sasha if she's not the best? That's a question not even Sasha knows. So she drank the champagne and she says it tastes cheap and frantic, kind of like Sasha. So Sasha's music then hit, and then she came up from behind Carmella, drank some champagne, threw it at Carmella. She attacked Carmella before her assistant came up to try and distract Sasha. Sasha slapped the shit out of him, and then Mella smashed the bottle over Sasha again. Here's what I will say. The promo was not bad. Carmella's definitely gotten a lot better on the microphone. The gimmick's a waste of time. But Carmella's not bad on the microphone. And I will say this. Carmella's not exactly a mat technician. She's not exactly a mat technician, but she actually looked semi-decent against Sasha. Now, I don't know if that's because Sasha could lead a broomstick to a 5-star match, but she did not look that bad against Sasha. She didn't botch. Her offense looked a lot better. I will say this. Carmella could very well have her best match of her career against Sasha Banks at TLC. Carmella could very well have the best match of her career against Sasha at TLC. And I'm telling you right now, I did not mind this promo. But, that doesn't excuse the fact that they have done this program no favors whatsoever. Number one, why is anyone going to care about Carmella in this role when she's done nothing to deserve an opportunity? When she competed against Sasha last week, that was the first match that she competed in almost 7 months. Number one. Number two, why did you book the match last week just to book it again at TLC just to get through another week? That is the definition of lazy. So we've already seen this match, so why would anyone care about seeing it again, regardless of whether or not it ended in a DQ? Carmella, the gimmick is terrible. The promo was not bad. And her in-ring ability, it's improved slightly. She's not great, she's not good, but she's slightly better. That I will say. So I am interested to see if she will end up coming out better after the match with Sasha. I don't mind that. But again, they've done this promo, they've done the program, They've done the program, no favors whatsoever, and Carmella is pretty much a glorified enhancement talent, no matter how you look at it. Where is she going to go after this match? She's probably going to be teaming with fucking Billie Kay, losing to the Riot Squad. So at the end of the day, it will ultimately result in nothing. We could get a great match with Sasha, and I assume that we will, because Sasha's great at what she does. She can bring a broomstick to a 5-star match. But at the end of the day, Carmella's going to end up going into undercard, lower card purgatory, while Sasha moves on to bigger and better things. She'll probably face Natalya at the Rumble, and then we'll probably see Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair at the WrestleMania 37 pay-per-view. So, what were your thoughts on this, bro?
I thought the segment was fine for what it was, but I mean, Carmella's not going to beat Sasha Banks at TLC, and I don't really know where this goes for her after this. She's got nowhere to go, and I do agree with you. It's hard to get into it when she's just being she's being thrusted into the Women's Championship and Sasha Banks. If Sasha leads her to a good match, good on her. But Sasha's gonna win tomorrow night. But the segment overall, it is what it is. It's just their final sell to their match at TLC.
True. So, Jey Uso attacked Owens again. Uso attacked Owens again in the trainer's room. And he put him through a table in the trainer's room. So, we still weren't done. We still were not done. That was not the last that we would see. Otis versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Dude, let me tell you something.
Oh, Jesus.
This isn't a knock. This is not a knock because Otis, when he's put in the correct role, Otis isn't bad. Otis is not a bad wrestler. He's funny in small doses, and when he's put in the correct role, he can actually be a great hand to WWE television. But Shinsuke Nakamura. This man went 20 to 30 minutes with the likes of Sami Zayn, Bobby Roode, and Samoa Joe, yet he loses in 3 minutes to Otis with a Vader bomb. How fucking sad is that, dude?
It's pathetic. I almost have no words to it. This is a man who was a 2-time NXT champion, a Royal Rumble winner. He faced AJ Styles for the championship at WrestleMania, a 2-time Intercontinental champion, a 3-time IWGP Intercontinental champion in New Japan, and a man who put on 5-star classics with the likes of AJ Styles and Kota Ibushi in New Japan. And here he is, jobbing out to Otis. Can someone tell me when Shinsuke's contract's up?
I don't think he cares, dude. I think like he's just coming to WWE and he's looking to end his career there. But look, he was relevant for 1 year. He only had 1 good year with the company, and that was the year that he spent in NXT. Now look at where he is.
Irrelevant. It's sad. We talked about this earlier with the list of unutilized superstars. He should absolutely be on that list.
He better be on that list.
Exactly.
Otis wins in 3 minutes. Who gives a shit? I'm still wondering why they fucking split Otis away from Tucker just to put him in a tag team with Gable. Gable should be in the Intercontinental Championship title picture. And I've got a lot to say about that, so keep it here. I got a lot to say about that too. From there, we went into the Sammy Awards. Not the Slammy Awards, the Sammy Awards with Sami Zayn. So Sammy welcomed everyone to the Sammy Awards. He took a look at the 2020 year in review. It was just a Sami Zayn video package. So obviously, this is what we expected from Sammy. So Sammy, he announced that he won the comeback of the year, he won the match of the year, and then Big E was announced as the superstar of the year. So Big E came out to accept the award, and Sammy then shoved Big E away. Big E then attacked Sami Zayn, threw him off some tables, and said thank you and left. And that was that. Listen, Sami Zayn is entertaining as fuck. He's entertaining as hell, but the fucking Sammy Awards? Really? The Sammy Awards. Dude, Sami Zayn has been treated like absolute dog shit ever since he won back the Intercontinental title. And I'm telling you, I honestly believe that this has to do with A, his big mouth on Twitter when it comes to politics, and B, leaving the WWE for 5 months when the pandemic first hit. And WWE is legitimately taking out their pettiness on Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has been treated like absolute dog shit ever since he won back the title. The fucking Sammy Awards is what he's reduced to. Why doesn't the Intercontinental title have a big spotlight? Why are they not building around the mid-card? Look at the mid-card that you have. Look at the mid-card that you have on SmackDown. Sami Zayn, Big E, Chad Gable, Aleister Black, Murphy, Apollo Crews, Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura. How are you failing? How are you failing in the mid-card department when you have all of those individuals there? I don't get it.
It's quite sad, dude. It really is. It's pathetic. The segment wasn't even that good. Not that entertaining. He's probably going to drop the Intercontinental Championship to Big E, probably on the first SmackDown of the new year. So
probably.
And then he'll go back to who knows where he goes from there. So I don't know. I feel bad for the guy. Really
the fucking
do.
Sammy Awards. The Sammy Awards. That's what he's reduced to. Look, I really don't get it. I don't get how you fail to build up a credible mid-card with all of those guys that you have. So, Bianca Belair and Bayley. So Bayley and Bianca. They put on a decent match. Bayley worked on the arm of Belair. Belair came back with a vertical suplex and a handspring moonsault for a 2. Belair with 2 backbreakers for a 2. Bayley came back with a suplex, but Belair countered it with a suplex of her own. Bayley then got dropped with a spinebuster for a 2. Bayley tried to use the ropes for a leverage pin, but she got caught. Belair went for a powerbomb, but Bayley raked the eyes, and she hit the rose plant for the victory, and Bayley defeats Bianca Belair. Number 1, decent match. This is the competition that we need to see in the women's division a lot more often. This is what will help the women's division, competition like this. But why did Bianca need to lose? Now, first things first, don't misconstrue what I'm saying. Bianca's not buried. She's not buried. She's going to be just fine. This was her first loss in almost a year. I am not mad. I'm not mad that Bianca lost to Bayley. It's Bayley, so losing to Bayley is not a shameful loss. It's not a loss that's going to say, oh my God, she's buried. Bianca's not buried. Not once have I said that Bianca is buried. Bianca is not buried. She's going to be fine. But that still doesn't excuse the fact that Bayley is a made woman. I understand that Bayley can't lose all of her matches, but at the end of the fucking day, if you wanted to have Bayley get a win, why didn't she beat Natalya a few weeks ago? Why didn't she beat Natalya a few weeks ago? That way she would have had a win. On top of that, why do you need to have Bayley win with a rake of the eyes just to try and set up another match at a later date? Why is it that we need to use the 50-50 booking route to set up a match at a later date? 50-50 booking does nothing to help anybody. Does nothing to help anybody. 50-50 booking needs to die. Now Bianca Belair has a loss on her resume. Now she's not undefeated. Bayley wins, only to set up another match with Bianca Belair at another date, probably on the first Smackdown of the new year, where Bayley is going to end up losing to Bianca, and we're going to be back to square one. Why do you have to have Bianca Belair lose? Why couldn't you have just had Bianca Belair win with a roll-up, and then Bayley attack Bianca Belair, and then a few weeks later we can get another match where Bianca Belair can get another win over Bayley, en route to either winning the Rumble or winning the Elimination Chamber. Bianca Belair and Bayley, they don't need to be on SmackDown every fucking week. And the only reason why you're booking them on SmackDown every fucking week is because you're lazy and you don't want to use anybody else. It's unbelievable. She's not buried, but in no way, shape, or form did Bianca Belair need to lose this. Bayley's a made woman. No one's going to look at Bayley any differently. What were your thoughts on this before we get into the final segment and then we're getting out of here?
Good match. Good match overall between Bianca and Bayley. Just the kind of matches we need to see in the women's division in the WWE, in my opinion. But I would have liked to see Bianca got the win here. She's probably going to get her win back against Bayley, and then I think this has to lead her to winning the Royal Rumble match. I mean, who else is going to win that Royal Rumble match in January besides Bianca Belair? I think she's the clear favorite to win that match and face Sasha Banks, but she's not buried. She's gonna be fine. She should have won this match, though. Like you said, she should have won this match, but I think she's gonna win it in a couple weeks. So that's all I gotta say about this.
Well, Rhea Ripley could potentially win the Rumble. I wouldn't mind that. I would like to see Rhea Ripley versus Asuka at WrestleMania. That should be interesting. We'll see what happens, but it's only a matter of time, man. It's only a matter of time, because I really don't have any faith in WWE that they're really going to build up Bianca Belair to be credible. I really don't, and that's tough for me to say, but I don't know. I just don't feel it. I really just don't feel it. But anyway, main event segment, we had Roman and Jay coming out again. Roman asked why, if the opportunity that you have is to be on the island of relevancy, why would you blow it? This is an opportunity that will elevate your career. He was interrupted by Owens again. Owens took a chair. He took out Jay. But we caught the sight of Jey Uso coming back, delivering a super kick to Kevin, and then a spear by Roman. They beat down Owens continuously with chairs. Uso then hit a spine buster, a botched spine buster through a table. Roman then was saying it's not worth it, KO. Then he Samoan dropped Owens through the table. And then they literally buried Kevin Owens under table rubble and ladders and chairs. And then they walked away. And Owens made his way out of the table rubble before Caleb Braxton could interview Roman and Jay. And he says that nothing can keep me down. At TLC, I'm taking the Universal title or I'm going to die trying. And that was it. So what were your thoughts on this? Very good segment. I didn't mind it, but outside of the Kevin Owens stuff, outside of the tag team title match, and then the Bayley-Bianca match, show was fucking boring. The entire WWE product, it has absolutely no hype. It has no hype. It has no luster around it. It has no hype around it. It has no interest. It has no aura. It has nothing. It has absolutely nothing. And, dude, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
The last segment, I thought the last segment very good, like you said. This stuff like this wants me to cheer for Kevin Owens and defeat Roman Reigns. Because like you said earlier, we can relate to Kevin Owens going to war for his family against a prick like Roman Reigns. So stuff like that makes me want to cheer for Roman Reigns. And I'm sure Roman is going to win on Sunday. But yeah, Roman Reigns right now, dude, is the only positive thing going in the WWE right now.
We'll see what happens on Sunday. But, man, this may be the longest LFU I've done. Ladies and gentlemen, we're making history by the day. Ladies and gents, that wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. Awesome stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into the chat, who tuned into watching. Great stuff. I want to make sure that you guys get the best possible content from yours truly, Joseph Conlin. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. Where can we find you? Yes, where can we find you on social media before we get out of here?
You can find me on Twitter at Conlin_Joseph. You can live tweet with me tomorrow night with TLC and for the other weekly shows. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Big Fight Feel. We are at 285 subscribers. We are 15 subs away until 300 subscribers. And that's something I would like to get to before the new year starts. So, and I'm going to have this man back on my channel for Big Fight Feel Awards on December the 28th.
Me. Good old DJ Storms. You already know what it is. Thank you very much, Joseph. I will be sure to see you there. Ladies and gentlemen, no Lightning Flash update on the 26th. No Lightning Flash update on the 26th. We're going to take a break, relax. However, Rewind for TLC, that is going to be up on Monday afternoon at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, number one. Number two, of course, we got the Furious Nation Awards. That is going to be up on the 28th of December. Me, my friend Adam, who was in the chat, and my friend Nicholas Fury, we will be going balls to the wall, talking about 15 categories as far as the year-end awards of 2024. WWE only goes. That's going to be on December 28th, number one. Number two, what's the date for our collaboration, Mr. Conlin?
Our date for collaboration will be on December 29th. So make sure you guys check that out on the channel. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited.
Damn right. Check out all the links in the description. My social medias, Joseph Conlin's social medias, and subscribe to his YouTube channel. On top of that, check out the rundown for TLC with Top Rope Squishy. If you missed it, links in the description. Like, comment, subscribe. He's Joseph Conlin. I'm DJ Storms, and this has been the Lightning Flash Update. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend, and I will catch you tomorrow for TL Sleep, as Proud Mix Child called it. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.
Have a good one.